This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
Is that all you got?
Let's begin. What up?
Tonight's Infantry Outdoors live stream is brought to you in part by
Silver Connections Group, full digital marketing agency. Improve your social media standings, boost your Google rankings, or get a website for yourself or your business. Contact them today at silverconnectionsmobile.com. Water purification products, pure water at your fingertips, fully licensed and insured. Get your products, service, and full installation. Shop today at waterpurificationproducts.com.
My name is DJ Infantry, and I am legally blind. My passion for the outdoors has taken me to some amazing places, and I have done some incredible things, all with one mission in mind: to inspire you to get outdoors.
Pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh. I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Welcome to Infantry Outdoors. Hey everybody, welcome to Friday night. It is Friday night live here on Infantry Outdoors. I'm DJ Infantry, the big Dawn, the man in the fine white suit, aka the blind sniper, and a whole lot of other names I've acquired along the way. But welcome to Friday night live here on Infantry Outdoors. I hope that wherever you are around the world, you are having an amazing day, because I have got an amazing show lined up for you tonight. We are going to be talking about my good friends at Vetinfo.org, who they are, what they are, and hey, they've even lined us up with a special guest. But remember, before we get started, this show is brought to you in part by Silver Connections Group. We're going to be getting to a special segment brought for you guys by Silver Connections Group called Tech Talk. That's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Also, water purification products, pure water at your fingertips. Guys, if you got an RV, you got a house, you got somewhere you want pure water, well, let my friends at Water Purification Products take care of that for you. See, this camera, hold on a minute now. We're going to have to readjust that camera because it looks like it's up here. It's supposed to be down here. I got to bend that angle a little bit. Setting up the studios for you, reaching out to my good friend Coyote. Oh, Rights Trapping. What's going on, brother? Bill Watts is in the building, and our special guest is in the building. I have both of them in queue. I am going to acknowledge both of you guys. I don't want you to think, Infantry, you're not, I'm here, but you're not looking at me, bro. So, I'm kind of mad at you. Hold on, I'm going to fix this camera. Nope, don't want the people to see my screen. All right, so again, today's broadcast brought to you with compliments of Silver Connections Group and, of course, our good friends at waterpurificationproducts.com. All everybody is linked down below, as well as our community partners, which happens to be Vetinfo.org. I can't talk tonight. I'm so glad I'm going to have Bill take over here shortly. Vetinfo.org, the one-stop shop by vets for vets, everything you need for vets in one place, vetinfo.org. And he set us up with a special guest, which we'll be bringing on here in just a little bit. But remember, if you want to set something like this up with us, if you are disabled, if you are an organization that works with the disabled, you can reach out to us. It's infantry at infantryoutdoors.com. Be sure to check out our website, infantryoutdoors.com, and you guys will be able to check out everything we do. You'll also be able to get our merchandise. Now, keep this in mind, boys and girls. Our merchandise is exclusively found on Amazon. So if it ain't on Amazon, it ain't us. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, get our merch, use our links down below, or go to our website. That's how you do that. With that said, if you want to contact us, it's infantry at infantryoutdoors.com. All right, let me switch over to this camera. There we go. Y'all can see that logo, right? See, I got custom banners sent to me by the sponsors, and y'all don't know about that. There you go. Look at that. See, get my big head out of the way. Which way am I going to go? There we go. Y'all like that, right? Custom stuff sent by Vetinfo. Yeah, it's so custom. Vetinfo didn't know they were sending it over. So that's how good I am with the sponsors and the folks I work with. But yeah, tonight we're talking about Vetinfo. And we're going to get things, kick the tires, light the fires. Remember, guys, tonight, as always, Coyote, let me check the chat real quick. The producer is here. She is trying to get the kids to go to bed. So, Coyote, we got you. Brandon's Outdoors Adventures. What's up, my brother? How are you? Good to see you. Here's the deal, guys. Y'all know we have to share the live every Friday night. Share the live prize. And tonight's prize is something pretty cool. So let's kick over to camera number 2. And here is our prize tonight. This is a collapsible water bottle with carabiner. Watch this. Ready? Let me watch this.
Take off the lid.
No, I don't need to take off the lid. Watch.
Yes,
ready?
you do.
You do?
Yeah.
No.
It releases the pressure.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay.
It's like me when I go to the gentleman's club. Right. And it packs away conveniently. So, yeah, we're going to give this away tonight. This is the prize. Share the live prize. All you got to do is share out the live stream and let us know you shared it out. We'll enter you in for a chance to win tonight's Share the Live prize. And there'll also be some other goodies in there as well. Now, remember, if you've won a prize from me in the past, take a picture and send it to infantry at infantryoutdoors.com. And we'll get you up on the website. So if you've won a prize from us, take a picture of you using the prize, holding the prize, something to do with the prize, and we'll get you up on the website. Also, if you want to sponsor the program, that's a way to do it. And, of course, the other way is sending donations because every dollar goes a long way here in this program. Infantry at infantryoutdoors.com. PayPal.me is the way. And again, it doesn't matter, man. $1, $5, $10, it all adds up, and it goes right back into making this program. So those are the ways that you can help support the program, become a corporate sponsor, become a donator, and we do acknowledge all donations and all of our sponsors in all of our upcoming live broadcasts and all of our upcoming uploads. So yeah, with that said, let me jump on over here. Thumbs up in the queue, Mr. Watts. Thumbs up in the queue. Hey, all right. All right, so coming up with me is now the owner, the man in charge of Vetinfo.org, Mr. Bill Watts. Also, veteran. Thank you for your service, my brother. Oh, as always. So how you doing tonight, Bill?
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
I got you at 5x5, bro.
All righty. Well, just want to give everybody a quick update on Vetinfo. We've been working on setting up a food drive with the Miami-Dade County School Board member Christy Fraga here in South Florida. We've had that going on. We have quite a few other little small issues that we're working on trying to help the veterans out. Recently, I did a big update on our website, adding in probably about 60 or 70 nationwide discounts that veterans can receive. So when you get a chance, skip on over to vetinfo.org and look at the discount sections there and see all the different areas that you can save money in if you're a veteran.
Well, Bill, hold on. I'm gonna split the camera here with you because it is Friday night. Hey, and by the way, big shout out to your office sending over this graphic, man. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I think your office did a great job, and I don't even think you knew that was going to be, this nice.
I certainly did not. Your office may need to send that back to me. It looks like
no. We keep that for the live streams, Bill. We keep that, but big shout out to Vetinfo for sending over the graphic for tonight. Great job. Big shout out for that. Bill didn't even know it was going to be up there, and it's going to stay up there because we want you guys to check out Vetinfo. If it's something that you don't see on there, let us know. But you know how it goes, Mr. Bill, on a Friday.
Most definitely.
So we got we got a few in the chat. I know you got a drink there. We got to intro the right way, and we got to do this again with your guests later. So everyone in the chat, Mr. Bill Watts and guest, thank you very much for your service. Thank you all for your support on this channel. And this and Bill's thirsty. So, guys, thank you so much. It means a lot. May God richly bless you and your families and all that you do. Have an amazing weekend. Here we go, everybody. Ready? Clink.
Clink. Okay, I do want to give a big shout out to Wright's Trapping. Still waiting to hear from you on the email. You can get me at bill@vetinfo.org or info@vetinfo. I've been really tied up dealing with issues here in the United States. I have one of my closest friends here in South Florida. His father is a veteran located out in California. He's in the Palo Alto VA system out there. And it just so happens that I know some of the top doctors in that hospital. So I've been trying to help out my friend. And on top of that, I've been dealing with my father-in-law who's overseas in Korea. I've been dealing with some of his issues as well. We just found out he has cancer that's non-curable. He's too far along. So we're dealing with that here on the home front. But
sorry to hear that, my friend.
As we say, adapt and overcome. Just keep moving forward.
Exactly. Hey, listen, if you look on my website, it says adapt, improvise, and overcome. And I can tell you, Bill, I got stopped the other day and asking if I was such and such battalion and because of Infantry Outdoors. And a lot of folks do ask me, infantry, are you military? And I am not a person that will ever condone stolen valor. So no, I am not military. And I told the gentleman, no, sir, I'm not military. The name was given to me by a DJ in a Miami nightclub because I was the first one in, the last one out, and I blew the hell out of my opponents with my music. And that's kind of how the infantry came in, because that's what the infantry does. They're the first ones in, the last ones to leave, and all hell breaks loose. They're there the entire time. So that's kind of how my name came about. But I do get asked a lot, and I am happy to say no. I'm not happy to say I tried like hell, Bill. I went to the Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force. Nobody wanted to give a blind guy a gun, point me in the direction and say, pull the trigger, boy. You know, I tried, dude. I tried to serve my country, but no.
No, I know quite a few that claim to have been, but
And haven't, you know. I know.
yeah,
Well, we won't get into that. That's for tonight is a happy time about. I do have a question, Bill. I put the chat up here on my screen. Are you able to see the chat that I put?
let me look. Yeah, I've got it on both my phone and the computer. So I'm on YouTube and the Restream.
Okay, great. Because on the Restream, I hopefully I gave you the chat up there, which should appear on YouTube as well, so everybody can see the chat. And the reason I put the chat up here is because I'm going to ask Bill some questions about Vetinfo before we get to our special guests. And I want you in the chat to be able to ask questions as well so they can come up here. So, Bill,
Yes.
Why Vetinfo? Why did you start it? And what was the idea that sparked Vetinfo into your head, my friend?
Well, being that I deal with a lot of doctors and issues with veterans within the VA healthcare system, I am on a national committee. It's got about 4 veterans on it and about 6 to 8 nationally acclaimed doctors that deal with issues with veterans. And the VA flies us all over the country to talk to veterans. So with that being said, I started doing research and reviewing research material for the Department of Defense on Gulf War illness issues. And looking at some of these things, I'm not the brightest person in the world, but I'm also not the dumbest person in the world. And all of these are written at super high college levels when, the average veteran or the average military document is written on the 9th to 10th grade level. So I decided to start Vetinfo and basically make a clean website that's easy to navigate, easy to read, and try to, for lack of a better word, dumb down some of the wording that these doctors put in that an everyday veteran and much less an everyday person don't really understand. So that was the whole issue behind starting Vetinfo, that and seeing the difficulty that a lot of the doctors and high-ups in the VA system have with reaching out to the veterans and trying to make them understand what's going on with research and their health care.
Now,
go ahead.
Can I backtrack a little bit here and ask you to tell folks how, or what's the right way to put it? You're a veteran, but what did you do? Like what did you do in the service? And
originally when I was joining the military, I wanted to go into special forces. I, like DJ, have a issue with my eyes. I have a red-green deficiency. So it was hard for me to distinguish colors. So they wouldn't, the little bitty pin lights, I couldn't see the difference in the red and the green. So my first job was combat communications, which could technically go with special forces, rangers, infantry, or whoever. And it just so happens my first assignment was with the 1st Cavalry Division, 4580A C Battery. So I served during Desert Storm with the 1st Cavalry Division. And once I came back from there, I ended up going, I went to Desert Storm, came back to Texas to the 1st Cav, left the 1st Cav, went to Korea. While I was in Korea, I changed my military occupation to become what is now cell phones. It was actually encrypted cell phones for the military, setting up networks for that. I became so proficient at it when I returned back to the States, I became a trainer at Fort Stewart, Georgia for a lot of soldiers there on what was called the MSC mobile subscriber equipment, communication equipment, again, which was secure cell phones at the time,
Right.
before cell phones actually came out. While I was stationed there, I ended up going to Egypt and out to the Mojave Desert about 9 times. I was also stationed in Korea for a year, and I just saw so much sand in the first part of my career that I basically was like, man, I don't want to see another desert. My health started failing due to I was exposed to sarin gas during Desert Storm, and so I'm now a 100% disabled veteran.
What is sarin gas? Let's talk. I like when you dumb things down, and you've used the term "we dumb things down" for people, but
Correct.
for the dumb urban suburban news watching, what is sarin gas?
Sarin gas is basically a nerve agent. Saddam Hussein had used this gas to actually kill thousands of refugees and stuff in Iraq before and after we attacked in 1991.
Wow.
It just so happened that myself and many others received low levels of this. It was just enough that it wouldn't trigger the alarm systems that we had in place, but it was at an extended amount of time. Therefore, it messed up my stomach. I now suffer from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, GERD. My thyroid is 100% gone, so I have to take medication for that. Have increased weight gain.
Did you have a mask?
Go ahead.
Like, did you have a mask for this, or did you?
Yes, we had biological warfare suits and masks to wear, but again, the levels were so low that it never set off the alarm systems. And out of the out of the 700 plus thousand soldiers that were deployed from the U.S. To Desert Storm, over 325,000 of those are sick at this point. So that's also part of why Vetinfo was started. I still continue to this day. You know, when you first met me, I
met this old boy on a bass boat. All right,
yeah,
listen.
we met on a bass boat.
Yeah, we met on a bass boat in the Everglades. And let me tell you something, people. I can't say the stupid word. So fish therapy, okay?
Piscatorial therapy.
Yeah, say it again, Bill.
Piscatorial therapy.
Thank you. Fishing therapy from the first day I met Bill works. I'm not going to speak on behalf of the program. We won't bring up the program because that's not important. The important fact of it is it works. Since the day I met Bill, from there on after, Bill and I have competed in tournaments together. Bill and I have just, for the hell of it, met at a bank somewhere and fished and beat the bank. We've gone out on the boat fishing and slaughtering iguanas in the same day. We've done a lot of cool stuff. And
yes, we have.
Ready, Bill? I'm small and you're big, but handicap people, it's pretty amazing that if you put two old handicap boys together, what we can do if we set out to do things. And that's why I'm proud to stand here and say that, you know, we're partnered with Vetinfo. And I mention it to people, any vet organizations I find up here, hey, get a hold of Bill Watts at Vetinfo. You know, he'll either put you up there or not, but I believe you're something that'll go up there, because Vetinfo isn't complete yet. Vetinfo is there for everyone to, hey, Bill, there's this in the state of Washington. Hey, Bill, aloha from Hawaii. We have this for vets here. You know, wherever Vetinfo can put information for vets, that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. Hence the name. Vetinfo. We want to get as much information out to the veterans, the active duty, just even the family members, if they want to go on the website, they're more than welcome. I try to put the weekly um, video information that they put out. They have classes and all kind of stuff. I try to put any new discounts I find. If I find a group that's offering free hunting, fishing, kayaking, whatever to the veterans, I try to add it there. So
That's an awesome thing because one of the things I've talked about.
He's like hooked on heroes.
Yeah, we're gonna look into one called Hooked on Heroes that's up here. What does this say? Page unresponsive. You can wait for it to become responsive. Live studio restream. Well, I hope I didn't hit the wrong button.
Did you?
We're still live, right? Like Bill, you can still see me and everything, right?
I can still see you. I don't see you on the YouTube page, but I see you where we're at.
Okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. Do you have us live over there, Miss Producer?
My computer is still updating.
Oh, you're still updating.
Yes, because it decided.
Well, it says that I have 4 people watching. Okay, page unresponsive. You can wait for it to become responsive or exit the page. Live studio restream. So, what do we do?
Rice Trapping says it looks good there. So I guess we're still up and going.
I'm gonna keep hitting wait, so we're gonna say we're up and going. So I don't see anything on mine here. Been there. Let me try doing something. Let's deactivate the chat overlay. Because remember, y'all, I got crappy internet, so I might be doing too. I might be.
Oh, you need to set up a camera and take it outside and show people the surroundings there. We're going to start calling him instead of DJ Infantry. We're going to start calling him Hillbilly Infantry.
Okay, it's not letting me do anything. So what I may have to do is back out and come back in because nothing on my side is responding.
I think you probably need to.
So, Mr. Bill, you have the link. Mr. Ron, you have the link. I don't even see Ron anymore. It's just a blank screen. So here's what we're going to do. When it goes, I'm going to say exit, and we'll meet back here in a minute. And if anybody on YouTube is watching or Facebook,
we're having technical difficulties.
The computer keeps spitting up lies saying I'm doing. I don't know what I did, but I can't get the chat overlay to go away. All right, so here we go. We'll see what happens here. I'll meet you back in a few.
Okay.
All right. End the stream. All right. So we should be back. We should be back. We should be back.
Beat. Like it got
Yeah, that's
connected.
Bill. He goes, beep, beep. Here's Bill.
All right.
Hold on a minute.
All right, I'm going to hang up, Ron.
Oh,
That's Bill.
no, I turned him off because he was still talking on the phone.
Oh,
Yep.
I can't again.
Thumbs up when you're ready, Bill. All right. Let me give you back the floor. Here you go. Oops.
All right.
All right. So we'll put Bill up there and me down there. All right. We're back again. I'm going to try not to do too much this time. I don't know what happened, but country internet. So, Bill, what we were talking about was giving folks, we don't know where we lost out, so we'll just pick up where we left off. But to give you guys an idea of where I live, Bill's going to send me this magic cable so that I can actually take you guys outside, because without this magic cable Bill's going to send to me, I can't take you guys outside. I can't go past my zone with the wireless, and we're actually going to bring you outside on a cable because I want to camp out. I want to do outside cooking with y'all. I want to do all kinds of stuff at night, but country internet. They gave me an upgrade, Bill.
Oh, you at 2 megabytes now.
Not even. On the upload, I'm at like 1718. On the download, I might be pushing 20 on a good day.
Okay.
And that's on the upgrade, bro. So yeah, we moving on up. Hello everybody. We are back on YouTube and on Facebook Live. We are with vetinfo.org. This is the owner operator, Mr. Bill Watts. Rights Trapping. We're back to you, brother. So it's good to have you guys. Remember to share out the live stream. Let me come half and half with Bill. Be sure to share it live tonight because we're giving away this really cool water bottle that goes and it expands. And then you can shrink it back down. Like I said, it's like me at a gentleman's club. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah.
Or you on Viagra. But
Or Bill.
that's another story.
Another story for another night. So Vetinfo set us up with a great guest tonight. And again, share it out, guys. Let us know you share it out because we're going to be giving away this prize later on tonight.
Okay. I've shared it twice. So just so you know.
All right. So,
All righty.
Now,
just real quick, Rights, I see what you're saying. Rights Trapping, I see what you said. I'll check it. Hopefully here later tonight. And I'm sort of excited about the guest that I'm bringing on tonight.
I'm excited to hear guests, man. What are you talking about?
Huh?
You're excited. I'm excited.
Well, Ron, whose company he has a couple of names. He uses ORM as well. He is known as One Radical Man. Ron is a certified law enforcement firearm instructor, a Florida firearms instructor, K license, certified Glock armor, nationally ranked pistol competitor, urban survival instructor, Florida licensed security officer instructor, and a private investigator in the state of Florida. I've known Ron now for several years. I've helped him with veteran issues, and he's helped benefit Vetinfo when he can. And so I'm really excited about bringing Ron on to talk about what he does, and hopefully you learn something. His website is www.oneradicalman.com and www.orm/ts.com. I actually emailed you. If your producer can pull up the email so you can share that out, or I can try to stick it up there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There you go.
Well, Bill, if you type it, you should be able to drop it in the chat. You have a link there?
I'll do it on my, like I said, I got my phone going as well as the computer. So while Ron's talking, I'll type it in.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. I don't know on which platform. See, I'm not used to being on your side of this stream, so I don't know what features you see or you have, but I have the chat and you can chat into it. If not, type it in on your YouTube, and we'll get that up there. But
Yeah. Earlier I was typing and it was popping up on the restream from the YouTube. So
yeah,
that
anything
part
you do on
worked good.
Restream will be going on YouTube and Facebook Live. So if you're joining us on either platform, good evening, guys. We're back. Remember to share out the live stream. We are with Bill Watts, owner of Vetinfo.org. Everything vets, by vets, for vets. It's the one-stop shop for vets. That's how I'm going to be putting it, because it's a really great website, and that's why we are proud to be partnered with them here at Infantry Outdoors. Now he's bringing up his guest, Mr. Ron, and Fishing with Dot. How you doing? How you doing? Fishing with Dot. Be sure to share out the live stream. You'll be entered to win tonight's Share the Live prize. If you know a vet out there, be sure to get in contact with them right now, because we got some great info going out for you. With that aside, Mr. Bill, are you ready to bring on your guest?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone around the world. Vetinfo and DJ Infantry Outdoors is proud to bring Ron Ackerman, one radical man, to the stage.
Let's give him the big window. Boop. There you go. Ron, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing pretty good.
Thanks.
Down here in Miami.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being part of Vetinfo. All of that stuff. Lots of thank yous. Oh, wait. Bill, we gotta salute him. It's Friday night. We gotta do it the right way. All right. Ron, viewers at home, everyone out there, grab your glass. I don't care if it's milk and cookies, soda, water. Grab it. You know what we do on a Friday night. Coyote, you know the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this. Thank you for my guest, Ron. Thank you for Bill. Thank you for Vetinfo. And thank you for all the vets across the world for keeping my freedom free and having the life that I'm able to have here in the United States. Thank you for all of you at home. May God richly bless all of you. Have an amazing weekend. Here we go. You ready, guys? Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, producer, you can drop me down and let DJ and Ron be big.
You want me to drop you down? All right, I can put you backstage for a minute if you want. Oh, wait, let me see something. Let me see which window options I have here.
He's doing all the controls.
Yeah, no, I got all the controls over here, but they only give me so many options. Now there we go. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, look at the blind guy learning how to use the controls. You see, I've got OBS on one side, and that runs all of my layers and everything else like that. And then I've got Restream over here, which puts us out to everything. So I have different features here, and I have different features here. I just got to figure out which one does what. But we got it. I like this. You know, Ron, you're up there, buddy. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Fantastic for a Friday. Very glad and honored to be here with Bill and yourself. And it's a great day. Every day that we are out here in front of people trying to help our community is a fantastic day.
Amen, brother. Amen. Now, I would like you to start by introducing yourself to our guests, especially with your former military experience, and only share what you feel like sharing. Remember, this is the internet, so feel free to share whatever you want, but please give us what you can.
Hey, Ron, turn your volume up, Ron, on your mic. I can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm using Bluetooth since I am connected through the cell phone and the computer.
I got him.
I'm just gonna try to speak up a little.
You got him loud and clear, DJ?
Yeah, he's good on my end.
Okay, as long as everybody can hear him, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, just make sure you speak up nice and loud and clear, and you'll be good. But you are a little faint, so
But I'll speak up a little bit more for old folks like Bill,
like me.
Friend.
Yeah, us the military guys, all them gunfire, they can't hear nothing no more. So we gotta
artillery.
Yeah, all them shells going off.
That's what happens. So, a bit about myself in the military, active duty for 2 contracts, and I started in the 82nd Airborne Division up at Fort Bragg, infantry, and loved it. It was a great time for me. Funny thing about veterans, but all the veterans that I speak to, we tend to have an ability to remember the good times, and yes, there are some bad times as well, but it's how the human brain, I guess, works.
Right.
You select the good times. So spend some time in the 82nd, third of 505, and spend some time in Fort Sherman, Panama as well, with the JOTC, the Jungle Operation Training Center. I was blessed with the opportunity to start or participate in a competition at a battalion level, pistol competition at a battalion level. And I had some pistol experience before the military in my youth. And within that battalion competition, I did well. And I was lucky to get picked up for the 82nd Airborne Division pistol team. And at that point, everything has started flourishing for me, where I had, hold on for a second, just readjust my camera here. Okay, much better. Where we went and competed and kept them going up in different stages. And it finalized with me becoming part of the Army Marksmanship Unit in Fort Benning, Georgia. So did some time with them for a couple of years, several regional competitions, national competitions, inter-service competitions, fantastic group of people, the best job the Army had to offer, I would say, but I'm biased towards firearms. And that's basically what I wanted to mention, since my line of work is firearms training and urban survival. So yes, I took a couple of other courses and specific training while in the military, but not necessarily related to the firearms instructor portion of it. So and then
That's my resume.
after active duty, I ended up in the Florida National Guard as well. After having a parachute incident while in active duty and broke my back from the waist down. I was paralyzed for a couple of weeks and had to learn how to walk again, and therefore my one of my disabilities. But there's always a blessing in disguise. So
I'm trying to figure this out here because they're saying they can't hear you, but I hear you. You're leveling on my mixing board. Bill, talk.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, because you're there too, man. I mean, there's no way. I am not in control. If can you guys hear? Let's try this. Can you guys hear Bill? Bill, say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Somebody respond and tell me if you hear Bill. Right, Bill in the chat. Let's wait a second because we're all on the same feed. So there's no way you can't hear Ron and you can hear Bill and me because then I didn't do anything. I don't know. I don't do like he's on. I have his volume at 120% on Restream. He's up there live. Did we hear Bill? I'm waiting. Somebody type, did we hear Bill? Bill in infantry is good. Ron, say hello, Ron.
hello, everybody.
I hear Ron.
I hear myself and I hear everybody.
Bill,
Yes.
can you hear Ron?
He's real low for me.
Real low for you. Okay, because I've got him up. Let me try something. Ron, I'm going to drop you backstage and bring you back up and see if that fixes it. All right, so now you got me and you got Bill, and we hear Bill.
And we got Bill.
I could hear everyone. He was very low, but I heard about being in Fort Benning, firearms, and the accident.
Okay, well then you
Okay.
heard it.
Right, so he heard that. And then Coyote says I can't hear Ron. So, boop. All right, he's coming. He dropped off, and he even came back up. So let's try this again. All right. Breaker 19 for Ron.
I hear you fine.
Much better.
Okay, I have Ron 5x5.
Much
Okay.
better.
Here, wait. Let's bring him back up here on the big screen. Boom. Ron, say hello, everyone.
Okay, so I'll do
Whoa.
a 30-second recap. Then
No,
hold
on. I have to readjust you guys now. Hold on a second, Mike. Wow. All right. Chat, is Ron 5x5? Is he good now?
Yes.
I still
Fantastic.
I still have can't hear Ron, so you guys might be ahead of me in the chat.
That's possible.
It is
That's
very.
it. DJ, can you hear me?
I got you, bro. Me and you are
Ron is 100 times better now.
okay.
Then we should be good.
Then we should be good, in theory.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just keep an eye on the chat. Producer, give us a thumbs up if you see it or something, or just.
I haven't started my computer
Oh, the
yet.
other computer. See, you gotta love when the
just
things
got
want to
to
update
100%.
when you want to live stream. Isn't that great?
I think the last that we heard from Ron, he was paralyzed from the neck up, and he's still paralyzed.
No. It might be the low connectivity.
Oh, no.
See,
It was actually
I
the weight.
shouldn't say that. DJ, I shouldn't be talking bad about Ron.
Boys and girls.
He lives close enough that he could just step out his window and shoot me from his house.
Big shout out to Blind Grilling. If you guys missed the show we did with him not too long ago, go back and watch it. You got two blind guys barbecuing and techniques and ways and methods. My brother, please remember to reach out to me with your information because we are doing community partners here in the live streams. I'd love to bring you back up as a community partner. I'm waiting on you to email me your blind grilling info so we can get it tagged to it. So, hey, that's one for you now. Vetinfo and blind grilling need to link because the program is for veterans and first responders to get disabled or blind or handicapped veterans back barbecuing. This man works with Big Green Egg and has really cool gadgets. Like the man is blind like the worst to me, and he barbecues. So, kudos to that. And we talked about why. So if you guys missed that, go back and check it out. So everybody says we're good, much louder. Yep. Don't forget to share out the live, guys. You'll be registered for the prize. Make sure that you drop it in the chat that you shared out the live. Tonight we're giving away a water bottle, expandable, whatever you want to call it. Tonight's guest is vetinfo.org if you're just tuning in. And vetinfo.org has brought our wonderful guest, Ron, who is a veteran and firearms specialist, instructor, enthusiast. He's so multi-talented. He's just so fabulous. He knows all about the firearms and tell you how to use them and how to abuse them and all the wonderful things. So keep tuned. Ron, man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. When Bill told me I was having you on, I have heard about you in the past. I've heard about the fishing trips with Ron. I've heard the name Ron.
Oh, that's Ron.
See, even the producer. Oh, that's Ron.
Wow.
We've known you for a minute, bro. And I'm glad to have you on the show because I was even telling Bill when he was texting me what you do. I said, Bill, this is a guy I'm going to have to drive 6 hours back down it, and we're going to have to film with Ron because Ron got a lot going on to where we can't just limit it to a live stream. So I have future trips to South Florida. Come see you, Ron. We're going to have some fun.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what I could learn from you because all of the certificates and certifications that he read off, out of all of that, I know I'm a concealed weapons holder. That's about as far as I go and all of that. I don't have an automatic firearms license. I was a Class D and G armed security guard at one point. That's the reason I got my concealed carry, and I was working on getting my private investigator's license because the guy that I worked for thought it was great, and so do we all. How great and how awesome would it be to have a PI that was quote unquote blind legally? Or we could get away with crap, and who the hell's going to think a guy with a walking stick is going to have a camera? I could get away with some stuff. Well, the problem of it was obviously the travel and not being able to drive. That really put a damper in it. But he was ready for it, man. But I got all the way up to where I was going to go get my PI license, and that was the end of it. But I've stayed with my concealed carry since I was 21, and that's about where it stopped. But I've had basic handgun firearm training. I've had rifle training. I've had shotgun training. I'm a country boy, like Bill says. I've had a shotgun or a rifle in my hand since I was old enough to hold it up, But I want you to go ahead and tell folks about what classes you offer and what you would recommend folks that you offer.
Well, you got to finish your story, too.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, producer. We left off at your story. See, the whole crash of the internet thing messed it all up.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead and pick up where you left off, my friend.
so yeah, I had mentioned that I left active duty um, after having a parachute accident, and I broke my back and was paralyzed from the waist down. But back in those days, I decided to um, re-enlist in the National Guard, and I did, even though once I reached my destination down here in Florida, they realized that I was that I have a disability because I was limping and I was on 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen a day. So, not knowing this, out of from my medical records, they assigned me to a scout unit, which the scouts in the infantry live before the infantry and come back after the infantry. In simple terms. So for the first 3 months, I never saw my platoon there, and I showed up for my weekend drill, and um, it was great being there unsupervised, I should say. But on the fourth month, as I'm getting used to that, that's when the platoon stayed back and they finally met me. Well, it just happened that one of the guys in my section um, was a medical buff, and this guy found out that my medical records were incomplete, and so he requested my medical records from Kentucky. And within a week, I got a phone call to go back to the unit, and they review all my files, and they say you can't be here. Basically, you can't be in the same platoon that we are in. I mean, we're jumping out of choppers, jumping out of planes. I mean, the road march 20 miles, and you obviously can't do that at this point. So they sat me down at the desk and spent about 2 years trying to support the infantry there, and eventually um, the rest of my contract ended. And so I left and went into security. And from there, I got recruited by a private investigation agency that really taught me everything from the beginning all the way to surveillance. And 3 years later, I was a director of surveillance for a medium-sized private investigation agency. So that was sort of my transition from military to civilian.
Mm. And that's kind of how I went too. It's like I went in as a class D. Was it D? Yeah,
Yes,
D is
big.
unarmed. D is unarmed. So I went in as an unarmed, and I worked for one company. I stayed there. Actually, I was working for American Express, as a lot of you guys may know that name. I worked for Amex, and then after a while, they were to the point where the only way you could get promoted, and tell me if yours was like this too, is the only way from a peon or an officer that you could actually get promoted and make more money, the next would be to become a sergeant. And in order to become a sergeant 9 times out of 10, that means a road sergeant. And for that, you have to be able to drive. I wasn't able to do that. So the company I was working for wasn't able to promote me anywhere because I couldn't drive. So there was no future for me with that company. That's where I moved to the next guy who was like, hey, how about we get you your G license? That'll get you an upgrade right there. And then once we get that, hey, I could use you as a private investigator, and things went that way. But now you said you went as far as surveillance. I didn't know that was an option.
Absolutely. Private investigation is a very wide. It has very wide categories, I should say. So you can go into what people are most knowledgeable of is just infidelity surveillances and investigations. But it goes all the way to finding money that the government has for other people or for different people that they may not know that the government owes them that money. So private investigations is interesting. Unfortunately, it's misunderstood by a lot of the people out there. But yeah, it's something that I encourage people that are adventurous to go into it as well. Currently, I'm more related, I should say, training wise to DNG. I'm an instructor for the D license. I'm a DI license instructor, and I'm a K license, which is a firearms instructor as well. So I deal primarily with excuse me, with firearms training for the security guards. I also deal with certifications and additional training for officers that have federal contracts, federal buildings, in larger companies, like global companies that have these contracts. And some of those officers come to me to get the training prior to their shooting certification with their company, or their annual certification with the company, because if they don't qualify, they're removed from their position as well. In addition to that, go ahead.
No, there's a lot to that. Like you're talking about, like when a lot of folks think of security, you're thinking the security guard at the mall, the security guard at the bank. You know, you went, and I worked in security. You went beyond where I'm thinking of, the training of this and the training of that. And you're not even scratching the surface on the list of your training yet, are we?
Correct. So the way I explain to a lot of people are there's let's just call it 3 levels of security. So there's the security guard that you see in a mall or in a construction yard, uniform with a firearm outside. Then there is a higher level, which are people that go into high-end residential security, and even executive protection, which requires additional training. And then there's a higher tier of security, which is more specialized. Now, that group is usually, the growing majority of them are prior military, prior law enforcement. There's a lot of federal law enforcement retirees into that group. Now, you have approximately, let's say, between 10 and 20% of that group that neither have law enforcement or military background, but these are special people that really have invested in their career, and they're go-getters, and they really have, if you really want it, you can get it, basically, mentality. So that's a higher paying type of environment, definitely.
Hey, Ron, with that being said, I told several people you were going to be on tonight, and I received some questions that they would like to know about you and some of the stuff that you do. Do you specialize in a particular area of training?
Yes. On the professional side, for security officers, for private investigators, even law enforcement personnel, because we mistakenly believe that law enforcement personnel are extremely accurate and knowledgeable of their firearms. Now, some of those guys, that especially the ones that don't have an ego, reach out to obtain additional training. So the way I work with the professional aspect of it is I bring that person to a higher level than their skill set. So if you're very knowledgeable about your firearms and you are very proficient, I'm going to identify what it is that you need to go to the next level. Now, on the civilian aspect of it, I get people that have owned firearms for 20 or 30 years, and they have a whole lot more to go. So they come to my classes and they learn something. But what gives me a lot of satisfaction is when I find people that either were fearful about firearms or don't know much about firearms, and I can bring them to a level of proficiency much higher than that of the average person that goes to a gun range. The ones that go and rent out a firearm, buy a couple of boxes, and just pepper the entire target. And I'm very satisfied when I see my students next to somebody that owns multiple firearms, and my student, brand new student, is shooting a very tight group. Um, so that I work in both of the areas, the professional side and the civilian side.
Well, which would bring me to another question. How does your business impact with what's happening in relation to all the gun violence that's going on across the country?
That's a good question. So I believe that what is going on, number one, is not an epidemic, in my opinion. Statistically, it's not. Um, Now, I would say this: lack of knowledge of firearms is, in my opinion, what creates the majority of the accidents that happen out there. In addition to that, if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot respect the firearm as well. So, talking about negligent discharges, right? And these. So, picture a couple of kids in their house, parents leave, they know where the dad or the mom stored the firearm. And when the other kids are inside of the house, let me show you my dad's firearm, right? Well, um, that is a major, major issue. And if we look into death because of firearms, that is a great category of it. Now, if I had those kids, rewinding the movie, if I had those kids and I'm able to answer the questions, I'm able to teach them the proper gun safety, the proper
mentality,
use of a firearm.
the mentality.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and take the curiosity out of the firearm, because I was a kid myself many, many years ago. And I had that curiosity. And my dad,
to me, I see a gun laying around, I want to pick it up and play with it. And I'm a big kid when it comes to guns. I get it.
Okay. There may be a few people on here for that this may pertain to, Ron. Do you have any suggestions for people that may not be fully on board with owning firearms?
Well, hang on, Bill. I want to
Yes.
touch back on what he was saying before we go to that, Ron. I want to touch back on what you were saying about the kids. Okay. Now, and the reason I say this is because I have a 10 and a 4-year-old. My 10-year-old, for his double digit, got his and Bill, he got his very first BB gun. He got a pump action. I have the range out back, which is probably 30, 40 yards. He's got a ping plate. He's got some spinners and stuff. But most importantly, he's earned to where I can sit in the office and let him shoot off the back porch. I don't have to sit and babysit him. Why has he earned that? Because he's earned it by not pointing a barrel in an unsafe direction, by not doing stupid things, by not shooting things that aren't targets, designated targets. And my kids know, if you ever reach for, and daddy carries a firearm, you ever reach for daddy's firearm for any other reason but to save mommy and daddy's life, you're going to come back missing a hand. So we don't play that around our household when it comes to kids. And I agree with you that a lot of that is the curiosity. If you raise your kids with a firearm, even as simple as, this is where mommy and daddy have it, don't ever touch it. The kids need to know, because God forbid one day somebody's going to break in and you're not going to be there. I was always raised with the 22s in the closet. It's loaded with 7 rounds. God forbid you need it. It's there, but don't you ever touch it or I'll break your hand. And that's kind of how I teach my kids. It's there. It's a tool. It's no different than a hammer or a screwdriver. We don't abuse it. We use it. And I just wanted to kind of say that, because you went right on a great path with that. Kids and having the training and the mentality to have a firearm in the house. So that was just my thoughts, Ron.
No, absolutely. I wanted to piggyback on that, which is my same mentality as well. In the sense of, when kids want to touch or manipulate the firearm, in my particular case, I stop what I'm doing and I tell them, let's go to the range, and then we're going to shoot, and we're going to shoot until I get it out of your system. So I don't prevent them from touching a firearm,
Mhm.
but rather partner with them so
Right.
they can do it on a controlled environment, because that's
Exactly.
exactly what I want. Everything
Yep.
that we um, deem taboo
Mhm.
is just calling from the other side saying, come,
Mhm.
see me, touch me, look, open that door, go
Yep.
into this website, things like that. So I
His audio's cutting in and out, DJ.
rather
I got him too. You're cutting in and out a little bit there, Ron. Have you got it? Can you
before
hear
it
me?
happens. I have two.
Oh, we lost him. That's his internet connection. There we go. It brought him back up again. I tell you what, man, internet is a heck of a thing. Where did he go? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
he
sitting here enjoying my 250 megabyte download or
You know what? Don't
speeds.
talk, city boy. Don't you talk to me, city boy. I'm in the damn jungle of Vietnam over here, and I have to run a little tiny wire 700 miles just to get the 2 gigs of. It's what it feels. It's what it feels like, Bill. I think when y'all boys were in the military, you had better internet than I do. In the middle of the damn desert with nothing going on. Hold on, we got him back. Let me bring him back up. Put him in the big spot. There we go. Ron, we're back.
All right, we're back. So yeah, training is the way that you help our society minimize the amount of issues with firearms. Um,
Knowledge
when
is
it comes
power,
to
people. Knowledge is power on anything you do.
absolutely, even um, young people that want to go into illegal activities for whatever the reason. The background is a longer conversation, but um, I have those guys. I see those guys at the gun range. They come and they rent the firearms, and just the way they shoot and the way they perform and everything. Uh, you can
Mhm.
tell they're not too used to using the firearm the proper way.
Yeah, they're used
So
to games and what they see on TV and not the proper training that you should have. They're thinking, "Oh, I'm doing what I saw on Call of Duty."
correct. So
That's
how I approach that, and because I'm always consistently asking myself, how can I use what I know, my skills, to better our community in general. Not I don't look at color, I don't look at age or orientation, none of that stuff. Just my field, what I have expertise on, and how can I help? And when I had these guys that are shooting at the range, I approached them and start a conversation with them, and eventually throw them to a competition among themselves. Uh, and in that process, I teach them a couple of things as far as accuracy and safe manipulation of the firearm. And I believe that when they live understanding a little bit more. Now it's up to them as adults whether they want to further that or not. But I always drop off my business cards. I have given multiple classes for free. I stay. I usually do one-on-ones, and that's just 1 hour of intense training with that person at the indoor range. And I do it for 1 hour because after that 1 hour, based on the amount of training that I give them, their performance starts going down. But the ones that need more time, I still charge for the 1 hour, and I stay with them. My ultimate goal is that when that person needs to pull the trigger, hopefully never, that person knows when to do it, how to do it, and can think 2 or 3 steps ahead, so they end up minimizing the amount of damage, collateral damage as well, in legal issues.
awesome. And if you guys are just tuning in, our guest Ron is a veteran, as we've thanked him for his service, and Bill Watts from vetinfo.org down here on the bottom with me. We are talking about firearms tactics training, pretty much anything to do with firearms. This man here is a veteran. He is certified on multiple levels to sit here tonight and talk with us about what he's talking. He is able to get you certified. He is able to get you trained. Ron, I tell you what, man, I hope that I have enough time when I come down next time to South Florida. Maybe we can link up and do some video stuff for the folks and kind of. Have you trained any handicapped people like myself that are visually impaired? Have you worked with any folks like that?
Excellent question, and yes, not extensively, but I have two people that were applying for the security guard license, and as an instructor, I have the judgment responsibility of whether I'll certify you to be able to do your job, safely or not. And I have veterans. I had one veteran that lost one eye, and the guy, typical veteran that didn't stop there, but continued with that one good eye that he had. Excellent shot. And I have multiple veterans that had problems because of ID explosions, and even one Humvee accident where the guy's hand was completely handicapped. And there was a portion of if you remember, the G license course requires you to shoot left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah.
So obviously at this point, this person didn't have the right hand, but he was much more proficient with the left hand and reloading the magazine and reloading the firearm with one hand that I have seen multiple people with two hands, which is a fantastic example and very humbling to see somebody not worrying about.
Was it a 38? Because when I had to take the class, I mean, I'm old. Yeah, that kind of shows my age. It had to be a 38 or a 357 revolver that shot 38 rounds. You couldn't shoot 357, but you could have a 357 that shot 38. Is it still the same?
Still the same. A 357 Magnum is the round itself is not allowed, but like you said, you can carry a 357 Magnum with 38 rounds, 38 special. Yes, and you can shoot 9mm, 40 cal, and 45 when it comes to handguns. Now, it
was revolvers, and that's why you said when the gentleman did his magazine and he only had the one hand. For us, that was a speed loader. We're going back, okay, guys? If y'all don't know, a speed loader is a round thing about yay big. It's about as big as your cylinder, and it holds your rounds. And you dump out your rounds, you drop them in, you push a button, and it drops the rounds in. Otherwise, you got to load a 6-shooter by hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can count that high?
Yeah, because you know what? Look, right here, I carry a 6-shooter. Actually, no, I carry a 5-shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I carry a Taurus Judge with 410 buckshot or PDX rounds in it. So I know about speed loaders. I love wheel guns, dude. A revolver, bro? You come on, man. It's classic. It doesn't fail unless you've done something really stupid to it. A revolver will always shoot. A revolver will not, that I know of. I haven't heard any stories of a revolver letting anybody down when it mattered. Now, semi-autos, they jam up, they do this, they do that. But my experience and my stories, I never heard of anybody, because nobody carries wheel guns anymore. That's a big part of it. But you're a firearms guy. Let me throw this one at you. Have you ever had a malfunction with any type of wheel gun?
Yes, I was waiting to tell you this. Yes, and it had to do with the cleaning of the firearm. This revolver that this person was issued at work was passed down from multiple people to other guards to him, and apparently it was the one that they used to send the guards to qualify with. And this guy ended up using it as a duty gun And in the process of shooting the course of fire, the cylinder selector in the bottom didn't move, and it was all jammed up with the powder and gum and everything else.
Mhm.
So obviously ignorance on his part as well, because when he was loading the cylinder, he barely could move the cylinder. That's how tight that thing was.
Mm.
So
That's just from
I
abuse.
do recommend.
That's abuse. That's what I mean. Unless you really did
Correct.
something to the wheel gun. But on a general, Bill, I'm gonna hit you with it too. Have you ever carried a wheel gun, Bill? Or are you new age?
Yes, I carried a 38 that I could aim at something 10 feet away and it hit them in the feet. So now I carry my Beretta and I'll shoot you at 25 yards.
Hey, I love this Taurus Judge, guys. I really do. Mainly because I can put shotgun rounds in it. That's the biggest reason I got it. The 45 Colt. I can buy moon rings and put 45 ACP. I do have a 9mm and I've got a 45 and but it's just something about the fact that, and I'm going to show you guys here, that I can put this round in here and I keep it. That's my live stream gun. So don't come in my house when I'm live streaming, or y'all know what's going to end up happening.
If you shoot yourself in the nuts, I'm going to laugh.
I'm sorry. I'm going to put you down. I'm going to put me up. Look at the size of this round that I carry in here. This is, yeah. Why are you ragging on me, Bill? I'm your buddy, man. This is a 3-inch Winchester, or I forget who it makes it, but it's a PDX round. It's got 3 copper discs and 32 ball bearings that fly out of this gun right here. And I just, again, I mean, guys, I think it's a running joke that me and my friends have. Ha, ha, ha. The blind guy carries a shotgun. But really think about it. It's a handheld shotgun in your pocket.
With that being said, once I send you that cable, I want video of you shooting a watermelon with that thing.
Oh, I got you, bro. I got you. For sure.
We'll have to go to
I got you. I got you. It is an amazing gun. And this is the Taurus Public Defender. Okay. And I know some people say, oh, Taurus. The brands that I've had, you know, I have 2 high points in my house. You know why I have 2 high points? Because I could afford them. And I have not had any problem with a high point. I've seen YouTubers purposely try to destroy high points and almost fail to the point where they had to weld bolts into it to get it to fail. I mean, it's a tool. Like I said, you can buy the $1,000 wrench or you can buy the $100 wrench, whatever gets the job done at the time. That's what I look at. And the guns that I have served me well over the years I've had. Y'all can laugh at high point. I don't care. It's a cheap gun that put in my boat. When Bill and I have been out, there's been a high point on the boat for alligators. Why is that? Because something happens and it falls in the lake, like my $1,000 camera. I'm out $100 gun. I'm not out a $500 or even this one. This Judge was, at the time we bought it, was $520 was what we paid for this. This is my everyday carry. But when I go out with the alligators, I'm not taking a $500 gun that might fall in the Everglades and never come back again. No. So that's the high point goes with us.
Hey, DJ, I just noticed that Right Trapping brought up a Glock. Ron, can you tell us a little bit about being nationally ranked pistol competitor? I know you're on Team Glock, right?
Well, I'm not necessarily on the Team Glock. Glock actually has a competitive team. It's a professional shooting team. I shoot the indoor league, which is run by the GSSF, the Glock Sports Shooting Foundation, and in South Florida. Because of my background of several decades shooting, obviously I have a bit of an advantage over the regular civilian that shoots, 500,000 rounds a year when I do 1,000 rounds in a month. So within the GSSF, I'm the number 1 competitor in South Florida. I've taken all first place in all 3 categories for the last, I believe, 2, maybe 3 years or so. It's interesting because it's a family sport, And now that's now within the Glock regional competitions, which I'm at somewhere around the 15 top percentage of the competitors there. But and that's more animated. The indoor league is for you to bring your kids, bring your daughter, bring your wife to shoot. They do have a women's category as well, and it's more accessible for most people. And my goal is to reach out and connect to the regular folks. There's a bunch of instructors out there that go for the wannabe John Wick kind of guys, and that's fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of people that love, running rifles and shotgun and jumping out of vehicles and all the stuff. But that's not the common. Yeah,
I was gonna say
that's not exactly what I'm looking for.
life, guys. I mean,
No, it's and I know instructors that dedicate themselves to that clientele group. Now, I believe that I can make a more of a difference if I am teaching the regular guys. I'm teaching the single mom. I'm teaching the old guy that can't really hold a firearm too tight or can carry a bigger firearm. I'm teaching the school teacher that one's means of protecting themselves. So that those are the great majority of people. Plus, there's an element of liability as well, because I do have 3 levels of teaching: on level 1, 2, and 3. And the level 3 requires you to have a handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun as well to be able to shoot all 3 of them. But I can't put anyone on the level 3 course until I know they're not going to shoot themselves, or more importantly, they're not going to shoot me.
Three gun course, right? That you're talking about?
Correct. And I also have courses. I got the low light conditions course at night as well. I run that every month, and it's basically at night. So you learn a lot about the flashlight of your firearm. You know how to use handheld flashlights, and there's a great experience that comes out of there, because one thing is what you see in YouTube, and I don't know any surfing, right? And I see people surfing in the big waves, and I think it's easy. Now I try to get into a board, and I can't even stand. So until you actually experience your equipment and you carry it with you all the time, you're living a fantasy.
Exactly.
And when it comes to firearms, it is life and death.
And it's also with firearms, I've found, now this is from a disability perspective, folks, you sighted people or you regularly abled people may not know this because you're going to do it irregardless. I was a fanboy of Glock when they came out, because Glock, again, is damn near indestructible. It shoots in any conditions, just like they did with the High Point. No, I mean, not to throw that out there, but they did the same tests and they shoot through anything. Okay. The one thing that always kept me with Glock is I've never liked the ergonomics of it. It doesn't fit my hand the way I like it to. And this, again, is like you said, for something we're going to carry every day, single, you're going to use it, abuse it. This judge, I have rat shot for it. So if I see rats, I can just throw a rat shot in, go out and shoot a rat or a snake. That's the big thing. If we have snakes, I shoot snakes with it. But again, it's something you're going to carry every day. It has to feel good in your hand. It has to be comfortable on your waistband or in your pocket or on your ankle or in your side holster. However, you're going to carry this. When you're sitting there and putting 100, 200, 300, 400 rounds through it in an afternoon, how does it feel in your hand afterwards? Did it chafe you in a certain area? Did it pinch you in a certain area? Right, Mr. Instructor, these are things we got to consider, because guns are very personal nowadays. It's not just grab this one off the shelf and let's go. Come on. I mean, you could do that, but I wouldn't. I would want something that feels good. That's nice, for me.
Absolutely. No, it's when talking about firearms, I tell people, listen, most people do buy a firearm, the handgun, right? As they buy a car. So they look at the sport car.
Yep.
They see it from the outside. It's beautiful. They want it. Now you buy that Corvette, and then 3 months later, when your knees are all sold up because you gotta bend them to get in, and it's so low and all that stuff, then you start hating. You start thinking, I should have gone with that SUV or the minivan. You know.
Yep.
So handgun is the same. I do tell people, especially guys, oh, I bought this gun for my wife. It's a tiny little gun. Why did you do that? Why didn't you ask somebody that this is his business
Yeah.
for some advice? I don't go into real estate,
Really?
you know, assuming that I know. I'm a smart guy, but I don't know. So I go to the expert and I ask the expert. So, guys, if you go buy your significant other handgun, do not go for the pink or the color one or the tiny little ones
Don't
because
go without her. Don't go without her. Don't go without her. Listen, guys, I'm
Right.
married. I have a wife. It's like buying your wife a ring. Don't you can't really surprise. I mean, you can kind of surprise her, but you need to take her and hand her some ugly ass guns and go, "Hey, baby, how's that feel in your hand?" It's gonna sound real. It is when you're, but it's gonna be, "Hey, honey, how's that feel in your hand? How does it feel when you slide that slide? It doesn't get you, or
If I'm saying that, we ain't talking about guns.
all right, Bill. Remember, it's a family. Like I said, you're gonna sound perverted in the gun shop. But these things, like even with my wife, I bought her a gun that was pink that she wanted. It fit good in her hand in the store. However, every single shot fired out of that gun hit her right in the middle of the damn forehead. I'm not kidding you. She
You
held
were
it.
aiming the wrong direction.
The cartridges would fly back, and every single round burned her, and right around the same. She was hitting bullseye every time. Yeah, so we got rid of that because it didn't work out for her, which is completely fine. If it's something you're going to carry, or you're going to put a wedding ring on your wife, and you're going to lock down your wife's life with that ring, you're going to lock down her life with that firearm you're going to arm her with. It's not, I'm going to go buy this because my buddy said so. Take her with you. Put it in her hand. Is it too heavy? Great. Is it too light? Can you deal with a 9mm caliber that feels like this when it's fully loaded? Or do you want to go to 380? Or do you want to go to 38? Like, what do you like? Because, again, it's going to save
And it
her
doesn't
life.
have to be pink.
And wait, hold on. The producer said it. What producer?
I said, and it doesn't have to be pink.
There you go.
It could be blue.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ, I'm going to throw a twist at Ron real quick.
Go for it, brother.
All right. Ron, what's your opinion of the open carry law as well? What is your opinion about teachers being able to carry in the classroom?
Interesting question. So open carry, personally, even if the word Florida is not an open carry state, like Texas is, for instance, right? So,
now wait,
yeah.
What about open carry or constitutional carry? Is that the same thing?
Okay, open carry meaning that you walk out of your house with your firearm in your
in
your waist,
like a policeman.
Correct. Now, what they've been fighting, or what you hear in the news, is basically for anyone to not have to apply for a license. So some states are going for that, and there's major confusion. And the worst thing is that it's confusing people that are already confused about firearms. Those that are against the firearms, because the firearms kill people, not people killing people.
And that's why you got constitutional carry that I've heard in the news thinking they want to constitutionally make it legal to open carry. Now, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting that right, or...
Well, what they want is for you not to have to apply for concealed weapon license. So you basically, by virtue of being in the state, are able to own and carry with you a firearm. Now, licenses for concealment are necessary, even in open carry states. You can carry your firearm outside in an open carry state, but if you conceal it and you have no license, you're breaking the law. Now, if Florida, which by the way, a little history here, but Florida had an open carry law I think it lasted about 24, 48 hours back
Yeah.
in the late 80s.
Well, there's one.
So people,
There is one open carry condition, which I'm surprised you didn't bring it up in Florida. You are allowed in the state of Florida to open carry your firearm solely during the activities of camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing. No other time are you allowed to open carry your firearm in the state of Florida. That much I do know.
absolutely right.
But you have to literally, like Bill has to hold the fishing pole in his hand and the pistol has to be on his side. Why do you have that? Well, if you're in Florida, family, I've told y'all this. There's gators in the water. That's why. If I'm hiking, there's bears in the woods and bobcats and crackheads. All right, I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. Okay, there's a firearm. Now that is the only, and you will be stopped for this because just like he didn't openly bring this up, I guarantee you the police officer is not going to know that's to be legal. I guarantee you because it's one of them areas
Absolutely right.
that people don't know. You know,
In fact,
I am putting the gun on the ground.
Just a few years ago here on Miami Beach, this group from Central Florida, in a pier, and
I
basically
remember the YouTube video. I do. Yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
Tell the story. Go ahead.
they were open carrying as by the Florida statute, 790, and the police showed up after somebody called. Obviously, there's always somebody that will call, especially people that don't understand the law. Even the police officers themselves didn't understand the law at that point. They all got arrested. If I'm
But I got a
not
backstory
mistaken,
though that was on YouTube now. This I saw the video. I know the pier exactly what he's talking about. Here's the difference, boys and girls. If you are purposely and I'm getting mad because you're going to screw this up for everybody that does it the right way. And that's what ends up happening, okay? You do not need to go to y'all from South Florida. You don't need to go to Dania Pier with an AR-15 to go snapper fishing. These people took their assault weapons solely with the purpose to piss off that area of I'm doing it legal. They didn't do it to go fishing to have fun and to be safe. They did it because I can carry my AR-15 like this because I got the fishing pole in my. They were doing it to be the wrong way. And like I said, people that do this are going to screw it up for the people that do it the right way. My wife, when we go fishing, I have 2 boys. My wife needs to have a pistol accessible. If a gator comes up after my kid, that's the end of the gator. If a bobcat comes out the woods, that's the end of the bobcat. That's why those rules are there. Not so you can go, I'm going to take my AR-15 to the beach and go catch some snappers. No, there's no need for that. And if you do that and you have that mentality, you are going to get that rule, that law that is set there that nobody knows about taken away from all of us. That's just my thoughts on. Sorry, I mean, it upsets me when that happens. It really does.
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, I have a saying in all of my classes: just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you should do it.
Amen.
So during the concealed weapon licenses, people do ask me, well, I'm in a restaurant, I got my concealed weapon license. I'm away from the bar area, and I'm a big guy, so I will need a 6-pack of beer to be kind of buzzed. So what if I drink 1 beer? I said, well, look, nothing is preventing you from drinking that beer.
No,
but if when you walk out, and then somebody touches your wife, or those crackhead breaking into your vehicle and pulls out a knife or a gun at you, and you end up deploying your firearm, and the police comes, one of the things they have to ask you if there's a shooting is, have you been drinking? In fact, you're going to
breathalyze you on top of that, just like a DUI. If they smell booze on you, you're going to blow in the thing. And if you blow in the thing and it goes boop, you're drunk, same as you were in a car. And even you're anywhere close to, see, I've been through this. I was wrongfully arrested for carrying a concealed weapon by my own family member. And it was on my birthday where I had a few drinks. So I can tell you, I got arrested for the sole thing of basically, a long story short, get out of my truck, take your 2-year-old kid and your wife, and find your way home 4 hours from here. Okay, you're from down south. We were in Broward. We were in Melbourne.
No,
Where the hell were we? Monroe or Moorhaven. Moorhaven. 2 hours from home. Get out and take your 2-year-old at 2:00 in the morning, find your old ride home. My response was, oh yeah, you leave me here? I'm going to shoot your tires out because you're not leaving me here with my kid at 2:00 in the morning. Because I said that in a you threaten me, I threaten you, nothing's going to come of it situation, I got arrested for that. And then the first thing he said was, how much did you have to drink tonight, sir?
Mhm.
Dude, I had 3 beers over the last 5 hours. Ask anybody here. They were bought for me. It's my birthday. Okay, well, you don't smell that way. Well, then you better go talk to Eric because that's the thing. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, like he said, they're going to try to ride that. But thank God I was dismissed. They had nothing. Case was dropped. I wasted a whole bunch of time and money. But yeah, be careful who you let people know who carries concealed weapons, who you carry.
They can use it against you.
They'll use that shit against you. Pardon my language. But it's very easy to do in the state of Florida. So be cautious.
Ron, you've touched on it a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with veterans?
Yes. Veterans have a unique set of skills because of the disciplines and the training that we have received, and at a minimum, regardless of whether you were in the combat arms or support personnel, you have some sort of training with firearm. And now that does not mean, just like I mentioned about law enforcement, doesn't mean that you are proficient enough with a firearm. I know law enforcement officers that get to shoot once a year because every department cannot afford the amount of ammunition and the time off to do that training. But when it comes to veterans, we tend to default into security, especially the infantry guys. As soon as you leave the military, some of the, I would say, lower ranking or even retired personnel go into security. So that's my first contact with them. And in addition to that, I try to link them with civilians as well, because the civilians have a different perspective of firearms and what it means and how to use them versus veterans. So I'm consistently looking for ways of connecting the two in an effort to minimize the stigma that unfortunately veterans have. When you talk about firearms and veterans in the same sentence, some people tend to believe that every single every single veteran has a mental issue or suicidal tendency or any other illness. And it is true that we go through a lot of stress, and some of us have certain issues, but that doesn't mean that everyone is cookie cutter. In fact, I try to use my firearms training in a way of relaxing some veterans friends of mine. I would love to, and I mentioned this to you a couple of times, Bill. I would love to be able to bring the veterans into open range to do some long gun shooting. I find it extremely relaxing the way I do it. Now, if you are running from area to area and then just sliding and jumping over and stuff like that, that type of shooting is not relaxing. But when I give you 5 rounds and I tell you we're going to be here 1 hour, and every bullet costs $1,000 to you in your mind, so you got to make it count.
Mm-hmm. You just really got my attention. Go ahead, keep going. I'm game. I'm your game. Come on.
Absolutely, that's a different perspective on what is expected of you.
Mm-hmm.
And after every bullet, I tell that veteran, stop and tell me what was going through your mind, through your heart when that bullet went out. Mm-hmm. In fact, don't even look at the spotting scope. tell me what you hit. So they may tell me, hey, it felt good. I lost connection with what I was pulling the round, or I was anxious, or I was angry. Now I tell them, go look through the scope. Oh my God, I can't hit anything today. Well, hold on. Let's just stay in that mode and let's think about it and what can we do to make this better? Or if all the conditions were excellent for you, will you be doing better? What's that one thing that you can change today? So in the whole process, you spend 1 hour there and you shoot a couple of rounds. I'm exaggerating by saying 5. It could be 10, 15 rounds. Doesn't matter to me. As long as you use that as a way of therapy, it's kind of like a mindfulness therapy. And in my particular case,
to be honest with you, because like you said, it's different to go out and play the Call of Duty spray and pray. You got clips, you got mags, you got okay and go. It's different when you have, like you said, you have 5 rounds or 3 rounds, and you have to make them count because like I said, where you caught my attention is my viewers know I've been on a several year mission for my very first hunt. I've been out to hunt, but I have not successfully brought home food for my family. I have successfully managed to have 3 deer laugh at me basically last year because I had to use my buddy's rifle that was not equipped with my optics, and I could see the damn deer here, but I couldn't put it in the optics because they weren't meant for me or didn't work for me. But for me, I think that you have that one shot because that's the reality of hunting. You have that, and it's a long gun thing. One shot that I swear when I do it, I hope and I pray I put the animal down cleanly because that's my mission. One shot, drop it, no suffering. And there's a lot that goes into it. Which way is the wind blowing? Is it a heavy wind, a light wind? How far away is it? And where is my sight sighted in for? 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards in comparison to the animal. Then you have the breathing factor because your heart is going to go because there's a deer. Oh my God, I got to get ready for the deer. And you're going to shake and your adrenaline is going to go. And then when you're holding the rifle and you see it, every time you breathe, it's going to go up. Every time you exhale, it's going to come down. Every time you breathe in, and you're not going to be doing it. It's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down because you're going to be, I want to get that animal. I want to get that. Am I right, instructor? I'm going through the motion because I just went through this last year and I failed. This year, I pray to God I'm able to get out there and put this new scope that I have with the camera. I don't know if you've heard of them. Maybe, yeah.
The Hubble telescope.
You know what? The Hubble telescope. I ain't that blind. Come on now. I only got a camera attached to a sniper scope so that I can hopefully function. But it gives me day vision, night vision. So as you get that first light where my vision might not be able to see what you see, that gives me the ability to see what you can see. And my spotter, which I have to have by law in Florida when I'm hunting, can see in real time through that monitor what I'm looking at. So he can go, dude, go up 1 minute, over 2 minutes, hold it, send it, boom, and make sure we make a clean, ethical shot. So that's my thoughts on it. But as an instructor, when you get handicapped people, this is a game changer for blind folks. These little scope mounts with the TVs that are about yay big, game changer.
Absolutely. I don't have the same particular issue, but obviously as you get older and you start, white hair and everything, your eyesight diminishes. So even though it happens to everybody, once you get to my age, Bill can tell you.
I would love a long gun match with you for sure. Like, let's see how far you can take this blind guy out to. Is it 1,000? Can we do 1,000? Can we do 500? I mean, my wife will tell you I can do 100, 200 with the rifle as it is pretty good. I'll drop an animal 100 to 200. I can physically with my blind, no scope, see the target 200. So I would wonder, and imagine the YouTube video, family. Blind guy hits 1,000 yards. wonder if we could do that. You think you could do it, instructor? I think you could do it.
Oh wow! I tell you, it's ambitious, and not just because of you. I mean, anybody.
For anybody, 1,000 yards for a sniper ain't an easy day, guys. You know,
exactly.
I would try. I would sit there
I-
with you and give me 5 rounds, and we'll walk through 5 and see if we get it. I'll do it. I'm up to the challenge.
I'll make it a little bit more interesting, I guess. So rather than when you shoot a long gun, you're dealing with a lot of variables. In the 1,000 yards, is you got to use science. You have to have a certain amount of experience about calculating that, especially on a windy day, obviously. But we can make it a little bit more realistic when it comes to a pistol. And if you're willing to go 100 yards with a pistol, then
I'll go for it. You got to have a big target, though. A big target for my blind butt to hit. Like, I'm talking like a moving truck or a barn.
No, you know the way I do it is it's not even the 100 yards. So 9mm round at 100 yards will drop, say about this much, right? On a perfect day, perfect conditions, right? So instead of taking the target all the way out there, what I give you is the silhouette, the size of this coffee mug, and I put it at 15 yards or 18 yards, right?
Gotcha.
So when you were to put a target at 100 yards and you compare it to this reduced target closer to you, they have the same size. So I personally, after every class, I teach classes, 6 days a week. So after every class, I stay and I do my own training, my own drills. And what I use is something similar to that target behind me, the orange target. It has round circles like this, and I use it at 15 yards.
Okay.
Which reminds me, Ron, me and you going to play Battleship. I'm going to come over to the range, and we're going to play Battleship.
Hey, you know, and Bill, I would, when I come down there, man, like seriously, me, you, and this guy need to get together and put some challenges on the table. I mean, you and I have done fishing challenges together.
Well, for people that don't know it, I actually took Ron out fishing, and Ron caught fish. He did really good. I had video of it.
You can't not catch fish if you go with Bill, because Bill knows how to put you on the fish the simplest way. And we don't want to give out that. I mean, if you're a fisherman, you guys know how to put someone on the fish, and it's different in every area, but it all boils down to the same technique. And Bill's got it figured out, because Bill can go out there with one technique and catch fish all day. I've seen him do it. I'm bragging on you.
Yeah, I can catch fish, and actually, me and DJ have fished in tournaments together.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's with DJ. I learned quickly enough that, hey, DJ, let's put the boat this far away. Cast. Let me see where you hit near the lily pads.
Yep.
Okay, let's move 2 feet in or 2 feet out.
Yep.
And I got him where he was perfectly casting along the lily pad lines.
Bill would be my spotter, the perfect spotter for me in, like, I would say 3 rounds. I give Bill 3 rounds on my optics and my setup as being my spotter, and I bet Bill and I would home, because he knows. He already we've done tournaments. So my whole thing is there's zero depth perception, because I've only got the one eye. And then I have limited sight of what the one eye can see. So basically for me, the more magnification at distance, the bigger I can see them little tiny orange dots behind him. I'm currently at the home shooting, I'm going to say maybe 50, 60 yards from the deck. And I'm shooting a Walmart plate about that big.
A 10-inch plate.
10-inch plate, yeah. Now, I can also hit, give me one of those over there, Miss Producer. The thing right there, the green thing. I have these setups. I have variable sizes because I like to test myself. I have these. The flippers. Oh, I got to, hold on. I got to bring us up here bigger. Boop. There we go. See the flippers? You put it through the little ring and you hit it and it flips around. And
you can't see them because of the green screen.
Oh, the damn green screen. Oh, right. Yeah, you guys don't see it. Well, you can see the outline kind of. But one side's a triangle, one side's a square, and it's maybe 4 inches across.
Okay.
So I've got the big target, and then I have those down on the ground, and then I even have another set of spinners that are maybe that big. So I'll have a silver dollar, maybe less. And those sit up on top. Those I can hit with the thermal camera scope. With open scope, I can hit all my targets from 50, 60 yards, which I think is pretty good.
Sweet.
Yeah. I've been told a deer or a hog will be 50, 60 yards, no more than 70 yards from what I'm hunting at. So if I can hit them little targets, I don't think I'm going to miss my animal.
We're getting dinner.
We're getting dinner. It's been a 9-year mission to bring meat home just once. 9 years. And God willing, we're going to do it this year.
Publix is right down the street. You can bring all the meat you want.
No. And you know what? Listen, I've had family member, my cousin, who is also military, and my uncle, who raised and taught me how to track, shoot guns, and things like that. He's even asked me, he's like, well, why do you want to do this? You know, I've hunted, and I don't want to do it anymore. And my cousin, the same thing. Oh, I've hunted I'm like, well, look, when am I going to get my opportunity to decide, do I want to do it or not? You've stated you've done it. I haven't. None of my city friends will come off the concrete. You go in the woods, they get scared. So I haven't had my opportunity. Now I may go shoot this animal and never want to do it again. But I want the opportunity, fair is fair, to be like everybody else and go try. And I'm doing it for just reason. I'm not going to put him, I'm not trophy killing. He will be on the wall, but I'm going to use every inch of that animal in remembrance and feeding my family and the person that took me. Every inch of that animal will be used to the fullest. So it's not like I'm just going, I'm going to put Bill White. I'm going to put him up here and name him Bill. No, we going to eat them, and Bill's family and everybody's family is going to prosper from it. And we're going to do right by the animal. Now, after that, if I don't ever want to do it, great. It's just like fishing. If you go fishing and you don't really like it, you don't do it again. But I want fair opportunity to do the same, Hunting ain't no joke. It ain't no joke to go get an animal. That's why it's 9 years into waiting, because last year I went and the 3 deer were in front of me and I couldn't I couldn't do it. So
real quick, DJ, not to interrupt you, we're going on almost the 2 hour point here. Can we let Ron tell us about how people can contact him? And
I was going to get to that. Yep, for sure. And as you write it, Miss Producer, write it down as he says it so that you can type it and drop it in the chat.
I've dropped it a couple of times.
In the chat?
Yeah.
Awesome. Bill's blue, right? On your side?
Bill is...
No, I am not.
You're not blue?
No, but I dropped it in the chat. It's over there.
I can make him.
She's going to make you blue now. That way you're a moderator. You can do whatever you want. You're the boss man. But yes, Ron, I want to know contact for everybody. Also, because you are on a handicap channel, if you have any, after your contact info, if you can train blind people, wheelchair people, one-arm people, no-arm people, please do not feel, embarrassed about saying that. I would like for you to encourage my handicapped viewers to reach out to you and say, hey, Infantry said you're a good guy and I could trust you. And that's what tonight is all about. Vetinfo's backing you.
100%.
When I come down, I really do want to do this challenge with me, you, and Bill, if that's okay, and film it for these guys.
No, most definitely. Yeah, we'll do it.
I think that'll be a blast. Go ahead and give out your info and tell folks how to find you and all that good sort of stuff.
Yeah, so basically I have two websites. I have my commercial website is www.oneradicalman.com. Everything is spelled out. The O-N-E, radical man, M-A-N.com. That's my business website. And then I just recently started another website. It's called ORM, Oscar Romeo Mike, which is basically One Radical Man abbreviated. Oscar Radical Oh, RM, yes.
Oscar Romeo Mike, you got it. Or
Romeo Mike, yes. Running out of coffee. Dash TS, as in tacticalsolutions.com. So I use that, or I'm going to start using that as an educational page. I do violent incident analysis. I do on Instagram, and my Instagram is Ron_tactical, and I post a longer version of that incident in this final website that I mentioned, orm-ts.com. My phone number is 872-22-COACH, which is 872-222-6224. I'll see if I can type it in the chat as well.
874-22-COACH.
872-222-6224.
There you go, producer.
Correct. Yes.
Producer.
And my email is operations with an S at the end at oneradicalman.com.
And I'm gonna throw this out there to you because you work with Vetinfo, you're a good buddy of Bill's, and you obviously work with you mentioned that you work with disabled people. I'm gonna have Bill get me your info, and we're going, if it's okay with you, we'll bring you on to my show as a community partner, and that'll give you my platforms to come up, talk about new events, upcoming things, because we are in the outdoors community. I do a lot of stuff with tactical folks, preppers, military, the whole outdoors range of things. And what you've said and what you've done tonight and your experience and everything, I would like to, offer that to you, to bring you on as a partner. And that means that every video, every live stream, your business, your information will be linked down below, just like Bill and Vetinfo and all of our partners. So if that works for you, man, we'd love to have you aboard.
Oh, no, definitely. I believe we all have the same collective goal, to help out our community and to keep our veterans in mind and to make them better. So whatever helps in any way that I can help, I am game. But likewise, I like to drop a link to your webpage, in my webpage, so people that come over can also interact with you as well.
That will be. I want to bring this comment up here before I lose it, because I want to put it up here for you guys to read, because there is a question here for you guys, my vets. If I bring it up here, you should be able to read it. It says, "For those that have served, thank you. How do you feel about the withdrawal out of the East?"
Okay, I answered already in the messaging there, but okay. Myself personally, I'm not too happy about it, because first of all, we stuck our nose in over there, and now if we pull out, it's just going to become a bloodbath over there for the people that have helped us. The Taliban and everything is going to go after those people. The interpreters, the interrogators, everybody that worked with us, now they're going to be hunted over there. So I fully believe that there should be some type of presence in the area. So that's my opinion on it. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Now, let me put this up there for Bill. When I put the comments up, you can read them, of course, right?
The one was on the right side, yes.
Okay, the one that just on the screen. Okay, go ahead and read that to the folks, because that's in kind of in response to what you were saying.
Oh, about the
as a Canadian, I feel I have.
Yeah, as a Canadian, this is by Tyler Redneck. As a Canadian, I feel that we have literally fought for nothing. All the blood spilled in the sand was for nothing. Ron, you want to give your perspective on it?
Yeah, I actually want to. I'm a visual kind of guy, so I wanted to translate what you said in a fewer words. Before you break something, you have to have another structure underneath to be able to support that. So whether we were supposed to be there in the first place, or we've been there for too long, guys, we're there. And there are people that depend on us, and there are people that will be hurting and kill and torture if we're not there. So how we get there at this point is a longer conversation. Pulling out, I just don't see that doing any good, as opposed to how bad it's going to be. Every time you allow evil to get back in, it comes back stronger. And then for what? 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, we got to go back in there again
and clean up mess.
Correct. And then we lost territory. I mean, we're not there to slave people. We're not there to with evil purposes, but to police that area. For those that think that we should never have been there in the past, well, I'll tell you what. When you see your neighbor, when you see the government coming and taking your neighbor's gun and you do nothing, when they come for you, there will be no neighbor, right? So it's the same analogy when it comes to helping other countries. Yeah, we can stay here and we're happy and let the entire world collapse. So what happens if we're not with Israel?
Oh, why?
Then why what?
No, but why would you sit here? Because there's someone up there that's watching as well.
Correct. We have a moral responsibility, in my own opinion. If we have the technology and the financial power to make sure that we can stabilize the other areas of the world as much as we can. Is it perfect? No. Have we made mistakes? Absolutely. A tremendous amount of mistakes we have made. But overall, I think it's the best course of action. When that stuff about you protect yourself and I protect myself, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help anybody. What about the poor people in other countries that don't have anything to defend themselves? Look at Cuba right now. No weapons. And what's happening down there in Venezuela, same thing, Nicaragua. I mean, you name it. It's a complicated issue. So I'm not gonna even pretend to be close to very knowledgeable about it, but just my humble opinion.
Well, let's get. I mean, no offense to anybody, but like we can go on world topics all night and all day long. Thank you for your question, Tired Redneck. And if you have any more, please do drop them in there. As far as your bear hunting, I dropped your comment there, buddy. But I would love to get my first bear. That's one thing where I'm waiting on the Canadian borders to open, and I have 2 outfitters ready to take me on bear hunting and ice fishing. So it's coming to the channel, family. Once they let me come to Canada. 2 years I've been waiting to go. But Ron, I have a question for you as a firearms instructor. With the recent events of life and the inabilities to obtain abundances of ammo to go out and practice on a regular basis like we used to, how do you feel about the increasing trend in airsoft being used as training weapons? That was a professional question, Bill. You got to give me credit for that one.
That was very nice. Nice book. Airsoft is a very good tool. I love airsoft. I don't have an air gun right now, but when I was in the competitive team for the service pistol section of the Army Marksmanship Unit, we had an airsoft team next to us. We had the Olympic team and the shotgun and the action pistol and all those guys there. So every so often I will go to the airsoft portion of it, and it's a unique type of skill set. Just like the shotgun guys who come over to shoot pistols and couldn't shoot them, and because their shooting is instinctive. So to answer your question, I think anything that you can do to not remain stagnant in your training and continue on is only going to improve you. So personally, I have access to ammunition, enough ammunition. I I teach classes 6 days a week. I pull the trigger, roughly about 800 to 1,000 times a week myself, as well in demonstrations and the preparation for competitions, etc. But when I do shoot one bullet, I had pulled that trigger dry firing a good 50 times. So dry firing is also another thing that a lot of people can do.
I was going to actually ask you, that was going to be my next question. Dry firing or practice firing with an empty weapon. The old wives' tale says, don't do it. It will hurt your weapon. You hurt your firearm. Some wives' tales say, do it. It won't hurt anything. What does a professional say in that area? Does it hurt my weapon to dry fire it or to practice with no ammunition in it?
After about, say, 20,000 times that you were to pull that trigger, yes.
Okay.
With
a semi, in order to properly fire, you have to and make it ready to click every time you want to do it when it's empty. So with a semi-auto, or let's say a shotgun, where you have to rack something, you have to chamber or move something. Not like the revolver where you can just go click, 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 which even that has bad repercussions. So I don't think that's okay. But I mean, the racking of it after 20,000 or more times, you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it is safe. It is okay.
DJ, I'll give you a great example of that. And Ron probably experienced the same thing going through basic training in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Part of your weapons training is, I call it dime technique, which you're practicing your breathing and everything. You're sitting there aiming, and you place a dime on top of your weapon on the barrel, and you got to keep that dime from falling off, and you pull the trigger trying to keep that dime in place, and you're aiming, and you tell a person exactly where to put a dot, exactly where you're aiming. And that's how we are originally taught to do shot groups.
Okay.
So some of the weapons that we used were actually Vietnam era M16A1s in basic training. So imagine how many times those weapons had been fired, dry fired, and everything else.
No, I'm not wrong, guys. You both are in the military, and you have heard yourselves that dry firing is not a good thing. Am I wrong? You've heard both sides?
I never heard it once in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't recall.
It's a wives' tale. You've heard the myth that it's bad, though, right? Like, I'm not crazy for saying it. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, you're not crazy, and there are people that do say that it's bad. I can tell you from experience.
Okay.
My EDC, this EDC, right? It's my Glock.
Yep.
And my Glock, this one Glock has, I would say somewhere around 15 to 18,000 rounds.
Oh God.
Now, I do clean it every couple thousand rounds, because otherwise I'll be cleaning, every week. I'll clean it every 2 to 3 weeks. And when I cleaned it last time, a couple of days ago, the firing pin in this one had certain indentations, which I'm going to be posting that in one of the websites that I mentioned before.
Okay.
So, and that's after thousands of rounds fire and much more dry firing.
Right. Oh, I don't know what happened. We lost him. Bill, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he's back. Okay. Yeah, because I was right in there with it. Like, we're getting into the story here. I don't know what happened there, but let me bring you back up there. We lost you for a second. Okay. And yes, if you missed what we were talking about, we're talking about dry firing versus he's actually put 18 20,000+ round, meaning the hammer impacted an actual round versus not. So go ahead.
Correct.
Back now. Go ahead.
So now the other thing is that you need to notice is that it's not just on the firing pin, but also inside the frame. You got there's two pieces back here.
Hold on, I'm gonna
There's
give you
two pieces back here.
Hold on.
I wonder if you can see in there.
Oh, we got you now. I gave you a jumbo screen.
Oh, okay, perfect. So there's two pieces back here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And there, right?
Yep.
Obviously, they will go into the rails.
Yep.
In here. Now, after tens of thousands of cycles of the slide, eventually you're gonna get a certain amount of vibration in between. I mean,
Right.
very, very minimum vibration. Now, the firearms are made to last. I mean, we'll break before they break, technically speaking. So, and that's an analogy that or comment that I make to students, especially when they're rocking the slide softly, which creates a malfunction on it. So,
Yeah,
and they do it with their
all that stuff.
Yeah, with their brand new firearms, they do something like this. I'm trying to position myself where you see it. They do this and they carry that slide forward as opposed to slingshotting the
spring do the work. Yep.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's a training issue basically.
It's hard on some new fire. Like I've even had the wife's gun go back because she wasn't physically able to rack the slide. New guns, you have a break-in period before you get that comfort zone. And like he said, if you're being babied with it and going, no, you gotta and get that spring moving and things happening. And yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that for sure. I've never seen anybody soft do it like you shown. I've seen my wife not physically able to get it all the way back, and it half goes and it lets it go out of her hand, and you end up with the half load, or you got the two stuck, one coming out, one coming in. It's never a good thing.
Right. So one of the things, let me see if I can just reposition there so I can, there, it's better. Okay. So obviously you can grab it like this and basically pull it back, and you kind of grab it on the separation portion of it. Separation portion of it like this. But for people that have handicapped personnel, older people, females, even guys that are nervous, right? Your fine motor skills kind of go away when or diminish when you're under stress. So I do teach this technique where you grab it on top. Now, when you grab it on top, if I extend my arms out and try to do it, I have less strength. But if I bring it to my chest and I do it very close to my chest, I can just grab it and move forward like this. I wonder if you can see it better like this. Yeah.
It's like
so
obviously that way.
Right. The closer you get it to your body, the more you can cycle the rounds in. In addition to that, this particular technique has an advantage for self-defense purposes as well, because if I have my firearm like this sideways, right? As most people they should, and they come take out the magazine out here, and the firearm is detached from my body. The bad guy, if it's close to you, can grab the firearm. Someone coming from the sides can grab the firearm. What I do tell people is just bring it back to your side. It's still pointing in the direction of the thread. And from here is when you cycle the slide. You're going to put the new magazine in from a very close position. So if anyone comes in where to grab the firearm, all I got to do is just rotate in the direction of my dominant hand. So I rotate this way, and now I can get that firearm released from that person. The further out, the more I can lose that firearm. Someone could come from behind me, which you may not be able to see if you're under stress, because our tunnel vision kind of kicks in in those situations. So that's why you see videos of even police officers being shot from angles, kind of like 45-degree angles. They never saw it coming because they're so focused on the target in front of them. So,
right. And these are all things that
funny
Ron.
story, but a funny fact, I should say. But women have a higher or a wider angle than men, where men is approximately about 4 degrees from the center to the left or to the right. Women are 8 and 8 approximately. So apparently it's some sort of evolutionary genetics or something that women have. So it's a fun fact for girls.
Hey, don't go say women are better, man. It'll go to their heads. Come on, bro.
Better eyesight than you.
Well, I hope so. I'm freaking blind. I hope you got better eyesight than me. I'm not the person.
Well,
but it's
I
really
had
cool to see how
default to use the red dot. With I can still use iron sights and I'll be able to hit the guy at a good distance, but to be able to be surgical, I need to use that red dot. Let's see if that camera can catch it.
I got one question for you, Ron. All right, red dot versus green dot.
Okay, so I use the red dot on them. I have another firearm that has a green dot. Now, red is more common. Green is the eye can acquire the green better, but
I agree.
Red is something that you can use more day and night. The green, in my opinion, and I talked to a couple of guys as well that have about the same level as me. Green is during the day is a lot harder to acquire, even though it's not a dot, it's a triangle. So it's like we go back to choosing the firearm for you, for your hand, for your style. You're going to be using it. If you love 19,
I was just going to mention that
you love 1911, 45 caliber 1911. Want to carry conceal?
Right. I was going to mention that for me, with my a red laser versus a green laser, the red under certain circumstances, very few functions or is visually easier for me, or the green is. The red, only in certain circumstances does the red stand out better than the green. But that's with my vision and what, like for me, to read anything on yellow, if you were to have like a school bus and ask me to read the words on it, because of the color yellow, it's harder for me to read what's on that, what letters are on there. But the green laser for me, day or night, is just a preferable, better color. The red, like you said, is easily accessible everywhere. I can use a red laser. It's just the color red in the field is a harder color for me to pick up or identify than a bright green, because it's on the darker end of the scale. So,
yeah. One of the issues with red is that red is not good for depth perception. Red should not be used as a red light in the traffic stop, the traffic lights. But unfortunately, I guess at the beginning, many years ago, before we were born, somebody decided that red will be stop.
Red means
but it doesn't give you the perception, the depth perception.
No. Well, and as a person that doesn't have any, imagine you're a shooting instructor. Imagine someone that can't tell 50 yards from 75 yards from 100 yards. It all looks the same. Like there is no depth. Or in a pistol situation, I like keeping my pistol situations relative to what I'm going to hopefully or not hopefully encounter. So anything within 21 feet is where I keep my pistol practicing. Generally close quarters, but for what would happen with me, I think that would work. And at 21 feet, the color of red versus the color of green stands out way better. And again, with me, like flashlights, if we wanted to go into tack lights, certain flashlights make a difference because the color of the bulb in the light will determine the hue. Like right now, all the lights in here are daylight. I'm a daylight guy. I like that white, bright. It has to, that yellow stuff hurts my eyes. Again, yellow's a bad color for me. Red falls under the yellow scale. So, you know, what are you doing over there? I hear like clack, clack, like we gonna go to war.
All right. Do any of your viewers have any other questions for myself or Ron?
Yeah, feel free to hit us up in the chat, guys. I mean, Bill, you did a great job with these questions, and I know you tried sending them to me, but it's always better when you do them because you're hitting them right on the head. Gives me a chance to sit back and listen. Ron, what an awesome night, dude. You've been an awesome guest. I really can't wait to do more with you. We could do like several nights just on all the stuff that you do, and it would be like, you know, a series. But Bill, I gotta thank you for bringing Ron on, and I am for sure when I come down, I'm gonna add it to the list of things I have to do on the next trip to South Florida. It will be to meet with you and Ron, and the long range thing, Ron. I'll bring my 308 and see what we can do with that. And I'd like to see if you could put how far you
sounds good.
Yeah, man.
I think our longest range down here is what, 500 that you can get him on, Ron?
No, we got 800 down there in Homestead.
And Homestead is 800? Okay.
Hey, even 500. Listen, viewers, if you want to see Ron get infantry to 500, okay? If we do 500, let's go 500 thumbs up on the video, and I'm going to make a special trip to Ron and Bill. 500 thumbs up on the video. I will go down and we will attempt 500. If we achieve 500, then we're going to set a goal for 1,000. Somehow, some way, we're going to do it. I'll find somewhere. I'll fly Ron out. I'll fly Bill out. We'll do something. But if we obtain 500 yards with my vision, with the likes you guys provide, I will make every effort to go for 1,000 with Ron and Bill there. I think that's a fair challenge for the viewers.
Big challenge for me and Ron.
Hey, look, man. I don't even think we're going to have that much of a challenge, Bill. I really don't. I send one round. I send 3. You're going to get an idea where that's going to go. DJ up, down, left, right, 1 mic, 2 mic, 30 mics, whatever. I got you. I think, Bill, we're going to nail this 500. And then we'll have the instructor kind of just watching us. Unless we need his help. But, you know, Ron, man, definitely, I would definitely love to get your information. Like I said, he'll be after tonight. You'll be able to get all his info in our descriptions down below, along with Vetinfo. Of course, it's on Vetinfo. You guys can get all that stuff as well. What else? Any questions while we're waiting? Anything pop in?
And if anyone goes to www.vetinfo.org and they see One Radical Man's logo pop up, they can click on the logo and it'll take you to his website as well.
We got to get you doing some YouTube with all that stuff that you do. Firearms training, all that stuff. Man, you kill on the YouTube page, man. But then
I've been told that there's a lot of the class that I give, people do know what they do with it, but I personally have not ventured into YouTube yet. I'm more in Instagram, and a type of audience that are into the urban survival portion of it, because it's some of the stuff that I post there. Most of the stuff that I post is pretty graphic. But at the same time, it's very realistic as well. So,
yeah, you know, YouTube
I
friendly.
would love to connect with you for you.
Absolutely. Listen, when I come down, like,
you teach me a couple of things.
I have a whole trip planned to come down there. Like, Bill's got to take me fishing. I got another person got to take me fishing. I got to go meet my brother, pick up the rest of my tools that I left down there. We're going to end up, it's going to probably end up being like a week in South Florida. It honestly will. But I definitely am going to come film with you and Bill. We're going to put these challenges out there. If you guys, like I said, 500 likes on this live stream, I will make it a point. I'll make a whole special trip just to go do a 500-yard challenge with my 308 rifle I just bought last year, and you guys know I got it. And see if we can do 500. If we can do 500, then we'll make special arrangements for that 1,000. I think I should get a damn award or a plaque or a medal or something if I hit 1,000. Somewhere should make God bless you, infantry. Your blind ass hit 1,000 yards. Who'd have ever thought that would have happened? Plaque, and I'll put it right back here. I think that would be incredible. And for you as an instructor to say, hey, man, this guy can't drive a car legally. He can't see according to the world, but he hit 1,000 yards, and I taught him how to do that. So if that doesn't talk about my instruction, man, you could teach the military with some of a speech like that. I taught a blind man to shoot 1,000 yards. You're going to pay me 4 times as much, Uncle Sam. Come get my training. I'm telling you. All right.
Everybody can do it. It will be wrong.
I definitely exposure for everybody.
Oh man, it'll be.
We were talking. I was looking into stations up in Florida, and there's one this coming Saturday, Port Charlotte, Florida. Yeah, but I got my classes. Lined up for the whole week. So yeah, we'll make it happen. But DJ, either you come down to Miami or I might just.
If you're ever on my way, I'm like Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Gainesville. If you take those 3 in a triangle, you're right. Miami.
Go up there.
Yeah, man, you're welcome to come out here anytime you want, bro. Anytime. We got a range that's free to us, not far from here in the forest. And if we can't do it on that range, we'll just go in the forest. You know, it's country out here, so everybody shoots guns.
Nice. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, bro. Give Bill an excuse to bring you up here, Bill.
I heard you.
Bill.
I want to see you wearing them waders I got you.
I'm going to. I'm going to get ready. The Swanee's been up lately because of all the rain, so I'm waiting on it to drop back down a little bit. But I'm going to go fly fishing with them waders. I got my fly rod. Bill sent me some waders, and I'm going to go catch me some fish on some fly. I hope. I'm going to have a good time, too. I'm excited. Well, fellas, before we wrap up, our guest, Ron, any final words or better still, recap on how we can find you, where we can find you, and acquire your services?
Absolutely. But final words of wisdom, if I can, train consistently, train all the time. My company motto is live radically and make every day a training day. And it doesn't mean that you have to pull the trigger that one day, but if the particular training is something that is going to make you or increase your survivability, then that's what you do for that one day. But do not let a day pass by without you training on something, moving forward. And that goes primarily for the veterans. Veterans don't go and stay stagnant. Continue to grow, improve in any way, and reach out to other veterans as well. We all need each other, guys. All the information to reach me, I think Bill is posting it right there, but a simple website, oneradicalman.com. And if you have Instagram, Ron_tactical. Ron as in short for Ronald, _tactical. That's one of the easiest way to find me. You send me a message through Instagram, and I usually respond quickly. Phone call 872-222-6224, but you must message me because I'm 6 days a week in the shooting range, so I can't hear my phone consistently. So if I've got a missed call, I try to respond to it, but message is much better.
Would you, Ron,
guys? Hey, DJ.
able to help me get a my whatever it is to get the suppressor in Florida?
I can help you fill out the paperwork. It's not that difficult to do, and it's federal. So
Yes,
basically, you're getting your tax stamp federal.
Yeah, tax stamp. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to get one. I'm completely clean. I have nothing on my background ever, and it's just something that I would also like to work my way up to getting the fully automatic licensing for that, down the road. But I hear that's the one that if you don't do it right and you mess up in any way, shape, or form, you'll never be able to get it again. So, I would like to have a professional guide me through that down the road.
Just to answer
Yeah.
Right Trapping's question, I do know Ron well enough to say that you buy, he will fly. He does travel the country.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good to know. That's very good.
Both of them are tax stamps. So the automatic firearms tax stamp. You have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to the automatic, because if I think we're stepping above each other.
No, I was listening to you. You're saying about the automatic. Is a stamp as well?
Right, it's a tax stamp, and you just have to be conscious that if you hand that firearm to somebody that's not supposed to, you broke the law, and that person breaks the law.
Right.
So it's a little bit more delicate when it comes to that.
More than anything else, I love firearms, and the fact that a blind person and firearms pisses off the world, it just makes me even happier. But I grew up with firearms. I love them. I think they're great tools. I love the oddity firearms, not the ones that everybody, no offense to you AR guys, but everybody's got an AR-15. I want the one-offs that nobody has, the different stuff. So for me, it would be, I would want a fully automatic Tommy gun. Something like that, like historical stuff. Not I'm going to go carry a fully automatic Uzi in my pocket just because I can. It's not that. It's I love guns, and I just think that the automatic ones are awesome. You get yourself an old machine gun that runs like a typewriter. It's just amazing.
Ron, we should locate him a grease gun. Remember the old military one?
Funny. Charlie actually has one.
One day I will own a Barrett 50 cal. You mark my words. I will own a Barrett 50 cal as one gun I do want. But what's the other one that we used to say, Amber? The Bowforce. The Bowforce. What the hell was the caliber on that one? I don't even remember. Big old artillery gun. We were going to put it on the roof of the house.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Anti-artillery gun. Oh. But
that's the way to go.
And all of this, again, like the silencer and suppressor, that basically would only be for my hunting rifle. I wouldn't care to carry it or to do any of that. And the fully auto stuff would basically just, as a collector, as a novelty person, if I had the opportunity to get something, I just would like to do that. Not to carry it or use it, other than, hey, guys, let's go out back and shoot. Look what I got this week. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, a Tommy gun will set you back a pretty penny. I tell you, I heard stories of $24,000 because they don't make anymore.
No, they don't.
So,
and if they do,
it's
the semi-automatic. It's not the Chicago typewriter. Okay, a Chicago typewriter was a fully automatic Tommy gun, and
absolutely.
It's hard to get a fully automatic Tommy gun. So but if I had the opportunity, even my wife would let me splurge on that type of piece of history.
I don't know about 24 grand.
She don't know about 24 grand, but what she don't know won't hurt her. She's going to be like Demo Ranch. Just don't tell the producer. There's one rule in the infantry. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, it's addictive. That gun is addictive. I had the opportunity to shoot it multiple times. There was a guy in the team, in the Army shooting team, that had one, a German guy, um, and the cadence of the rate of fire is addictive. Plus, you get to see the bullets going down range. If you pay attention, you get to see the 45 round going boom, 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 like a paintball type of gun. So yeah, it's addictive.
If you put tracers in there, it looks like Christmas time, like Christmas lights just flying across the field. That's when my father, when I was growing up, you know, it's funny to talk about tracers, but when you have a blind son who just wants to hit a soda bottle or a beer can so far away, and I can't see my shot placement, and my father was Army, you know, we grew up in a military family. He used to sit there and tell me about tracers. And man, boy, you know, if we get you some tracers, you'd have no problems. I'm like, we talking about that tracers. Even to this day, I'm 42 years old. I've never shot a tracer. I've seen them on TV. I've seen them on YouTube. I you know, I know what they are. Whether or not they would work for me, I have no clue. But he used to swear, "Oh boy, if I were able to get 22 tracer rounds, you'd be able to see right where your round went and hit that soda can." And yeah, maybe, who knows?
As Ron can tell you, they're not fun to see them when they're coming at you.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the other side of that at all.
Been there, done that.
No,
was not fun.
No.
Or over your head. Yeah.
No, the things.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm talking about little 22 tracers. They're talking about big tracer, 50 cal tracers, 308 tracer rounds, 7.62 tracer rounds,
60 cal.
See, I stopped there because I ran out of numbers. The tanks shoot tracer rounds. I mean, everything. It's amazing. Oh, but I would not be on the receive. No.
No, not at all. Well, yeah, but if you go to Brazil, they use them in the favelas up in the mountains within the city. The gangs have access to the tracers, and you see gangs fighting against another gangs. You're shooting with a tracer from one side to the other side in the middle of the night. So I've seen videos of that.
And Ron, give a shout out to your son, Danny. He's online.
Aww.
Which one? My son is online? Oh my God. Well,
Daniel?
Danny.
Hey, your first podcast.
How's it going, Danny? Welcome
wow.
to the podcast, bud. We've been making your dad tonight. He's been up here for 2 hours talking.
40 short story, but and my son would tell you this. Oh wow, yeah, I see him now.
Yeah, hey Poppy, your first podcast.
Yeah, both of my kids, but especially Danny. Every time at night when I get very talkative and I start telling him the stories of my life and how he should grow up to do this and grow up to do that, and 10-15 minutes into the story, when I pause, then he tells me, "Papi, you should definitely open up a podcast. You have to. You will do great in podcasting." So, wow, it's amazing that he's on it. I sent him the link a while ago. So,
well, Danny, thank you for coming. You know, as far as podcasting, this is a podcast. Well, I don't call it podcast, but it is a broadcast we do every Friday night here on YouTube and Facebook Live. Every Friday, for those of you watching, we theme it differently. I try to gear it towards an outdoors theme or have a special guest for you guys. We are a disabled channel, or I am disabled, so I do try to bring people with disabilities to encourage and inspire others that might be like us to get your butt off the couch, that there is more to life out there than feeling bad for yourself. In veterans' cases, to get out of that shut-in syndrome where you sit there and pop pills and drink alcohol all day. Well, instead of doing that, come fishing with me and Bill. Come shoot guns with me and Ron. Come hike and camp with me and my kids. There's a lot more to life than what you see on a daily basis. And once you get yourself in an outdoors hobby, I promise you, because you're in the outdoors, it's going to do things for you that you have never understood. Because for me, my wife, my kids, my everything, when I'm on that bass boat and it's just me and Bill and we're chasing $10,000 pots, I'm in heaven. We don't even have to catch a fish. And we've had days that way. But Bill and I had the best time catching no fish or next to no fish. That's what it's about. That's what any outdoors event is about. Like what he's saying with shooting long guns. For me, shooting long range is like, it's like meditating. It's being zen because you have to be in tune with your breathing. You have to be in tune in your environment. Now, some of these people take it to the barometric pressures and the wind speeds and the moon and there's a lot of things that shooters look into. But when you sit there and you're practicing it and you're focused and you're breathing and you're doing your thing, you're calm. I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. Just like when you catch that big fish and you're reeling it in and it's just that feeling. You put in all day and holy crap, it's a 10-pound bass.
Oh, DJ, just think you're talking about making 1,000-yard shot when there's actually military snipers that are doing shots out to a mile.
Look, I can't see. I'll tell you right now, I can't see 1,000 yards. I don't think I can. Unless you put a big ass target out there. And I'm being honest, without optics. If Bill, you stood 1,000 yards away from me, I don't think I could see you with my naked eye. I don't know how good of optics we're going to need for me to see you at 1,000 yards. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, if we can accomplish 500, why stop there? Why? This man, if he can put me on 500 yards, I bet you we can do 6, 7, 750, 8, till we can't go no more. But if we hit 5, I know I can do 2. We have 200 yards at the gun range here. I've sighted my rifle in at 1. So I don't think 5 should be that hard. You give me a fair target. It's not this big. I mean, you're going to have to give me a square or something, a cardboard square to look at. But I think it's doable. I really do.
It's doable.
And like I said, Ron, think of the instructor that you could be to go, hey, listen, I made a blind man shoot 1,000 yards with no problems. Don't believe me? Look, it's on YouTube. That says a lot about an instructor. Guy can't drive a car.
Most definitely.
Drive to a restaurant, but he can hit 1,000 yards under my instruction.
Right. And then always, if you end up not hitting it for whatever reason, we can always blame the spotter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the other guy's fault. He told me to go 2 clicks to the left. So I did what he said. Yeah. I got you. And in my case, Bill will be the spotter. So it's Bill's fault. Bill did it again.
I'm always the one in trouble, so it don't matter.
The motor blew mid-tournament. Bill, it's your fault. We didn't catch no fish. Bill, it's your fault. You're holding your mouth wrong.
Ain't nothing but a thing, Jelly Bean.
But that's what makes it fun. That's what makes outdoors fun.
And I think you set a record tonight, 2 hours and almost 45 minutes.
No, I think we hit 4 as like our longest ever broadcast. But with Ron, he's got so much. It's so informative. It's hard to stop because he really does know his stuff. So I do want to have you on again in the future, Ron. And we could talk about what we could do, because you haven't do so much, is like I have every week. If once a month as a partner you want to come up and pick a topic in your area or field of expertise, and we'll really talk about it. For example, tactical pistol training, urban pistol training, long gun care, whatever. That way you can really, because you know too much to do in just one live stream. I think if we broke it down and gave you a segment a month and let you run with it, that'd be fun. And like you said, son, Poppy, you gotta have your own podcast now. You have your own segment every month. That'll get you going. We'll start introducing you to it and, getting you the hang of it. But I think you're doing great, by the way. You're doing a really good job.
Yeah, Ron was my first video with a veteran fishing.
Yeah, I remember. Again, the name Ron has been around for a long time with us. We've known you without knowing you. We've known of you. Now it's good to finally put face and, person to the name. So,
absolutely. I like that idea, and as you're talking, I'm brainstorming and dropping down some of the topics that we can talk about, which people do have questions sometimes, and even if you don't, you always pick up something. That's how I see it. So we can talk about certain topics in all the segments. Plus, eventually we'll do some videos together. That sounds exciting to me.
I've actually got one for you. We have a challenge run called the Infantry Outdoors Challenge. Okay, because we are a disabled, channel, I have put it out to the world where I encourage you to do the same. You can do it in multiple ways. You can disable your eyesight. You can disable a limb, or you can go full blown, put yourself in a wheelchair and attempt to do your activity from start to finish. The activity starts when you show up in your car and it ends when you get back in your car. I don't want nobody driving, killing nobody. So you get to the gun range, you turn the car off. Now you have to be handicapped from this moment on. So you can go be like me and lose an eye, which in your case would be you'd have to lose your dominant eye for this experiment. And again,
if you can shoot both ways, so it don't matter for him.
Well, everybody has a dominant eye. You'd have to pick one and say, okay, I'm right hand dominant, so I'm going to lose my right eye. For example, if you're one of them people where you're close, just pick if you're right-handed, lose your right eye. That's kind of the way that would work. And then the same thing, if you're a right-handed person, cut off your right arm, put it back there. And now you can only use from the time you get there to the time you leave your left hand and all that you do. And the same thing goes with a wheelchair. You'd have to get out your car. That's the ultimate one. Put yourself in the wheelchair like a handicapped person, roll your butt to the gun range, and do all of your activities that way. If you can do that and film that and send it to me, anybody out there, you take this challenge, we will boost it for you. 110%.
Most definitely.
I want you guys to put yourself in our aspect, in our shoes for a day or for a couple hours and see if you're that good of a marksman or that good of a fisherman or whatever,
Yeah, I already do some of that which you mentioned. Shooting with your eyes closed. That's one of the trainings that the warm ups that I teach before shooting, and it helps you gather more information from your environment, because once your eyes are closed, obviously you start hearing much better. You're more aware of your stance, your grip, even the elevation that you bring your handgun. If you shoot with rifles, it's a little different because rifle is intended for longer distance. But with pistols is a good exercise to do with your eyes closed, and then you present your firearm and then you open your eyes, and depending on what you are, you're gonna move your feet or you're gonna move your hands, etc. So yeah, I'm down with stuff like that. When I do level 2 training, I create a lot of malfunctions in the firearms as we're moving through the course of fire. So the person must react to that and overcome those malfunctions. So I'm down with that challenge. I've kind of been practicing on my own. So
I think it'd be fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Just to see, if you're a good shot, let's just say you're a general, I'm a good shot. I can go out 21 feet. I can draw my gun and I can shoot. We'll use pistol, for example. Do you teach intuitive point and shoot at all? Is that a course that you teach?
Yes. Well, it's not a course per se, but it's part of one of my courses.
Yeah. Because it's like, if you guys ever remember the old Wild West guys that draw the fast draw, the quick draw, that basically they're not aiming. It's intuitive muscle memory point and shoot. This can come in handy in a lot of areas, but it's not something that I would say a person would go, Ron, you're a firearms instructor. Can you teach me intuitive point and shoot? It's not something that's generally asked, right? Would you agree?
That is correct. It's the same thing as somebody going to a chiropractor and saying, "Hey, I need you to adjust my L5S1 lumbar vertebrae." Uh, they usually come in and yeah, they come in and they ask, "Hey, I'm at this level. I want to get to that level. What would you recommend?" And as an instructor, you evaluate that person, and sometimes people come into my classes saying, "Hey, listen, I want to shoot fast," and I put them to shoot slow, and they can't properly hit the target. If you're not hitting the target slow, how are you going to hit it fast?
Exactly.
You're going to be unsafe. But yeah, all these things is fantastic. So I guess the takeaway is that you use shooting to learn more about yourself. That one day, I had competitions where I walked in thinking, "Wow," and feeling fantastic, and my performance was great. But I had competitions where I can't understand what is happening around me. So the way I put it is, your performance is a reflection of what is happening within you. So you better get you right.
All right, I wanna end this on one more final question for anyone that's out there. That, again, we do try to inspire you folks out there, especially disabled folks. Ron, if anyone out there with any disability wanted to get into the world of competitive shooting, but feel, I'm going to use mine as my own example, I'm too blind to try it, I'm too blind to attempt it, what would you say to them? I want to do it now.
To do it. Attempt it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Now, have you encountered any physically challenged people in your competitive shooting career?
Say that again. You kind of broke up.
Have you encountered any physically challenged competitors in your competitive shooting career? Any blind people, one-armed people, people?
Not major visible disabilities, but when every year in the national competitions in Camp Perry, this is precision shooting, 25 and 50 yards, one-handed only. And you see people that are handicapped based on, it seems to be age, at least for me. As far as like major handicap, when I went through those competitions years ago, I didn't see anybody with prostheses or you know, any very missing a limb, as you say. But at the same time, as long as you have a hand that you can pull the trigger, you may be missing the other arm, but you will be allowed to shoot. And well, there's a will, there's a way. And in my experience, most people that want to do something, they eventually find a way to do it. History is full of stories like this, and that's why personally, and I don't want to deviate much, but I get aggravated when I hear people like, "I can't do this" or "I can't do that." Really? My God, man, I got friends of mine that are missing legs, both of them, and they're still out there and they're working and they're doing manual work. I know guys that are missing a leg that went back in the service. So, wow. I mean, it should serve as a reminder that the human resiliency is amazing and fascinating, actually.
And as an instructor, if you're disabled, do you feel that handicapped people should be trained as equally as as normal civilians, as far as weapons training, firearms training, self-defense training, protecting themselves?
Yes, and obviously adapted to their their capabilities. If you have arthritis in your hands and you're shaking too much, which I have multiple older people in that category. I'm gonna teach you techniques to minimize that, but I can't have you with the same type of training as somebody that doesn't have the same handicap. Now, would I make it easier, or would it be? I don't want to use the word lenient. I treat everybody with respect and dignity, regardless of whether they're fully able or not. The fact that they show up, I'll help anyone. Now, the only thing that will stop me from giving you the training is unsafe behavior, especially blatant unsafe behavior. Whether you are, fully able or handicapped, there's no excuse to that. If somebody is showing signs of, which I had one person in many years, but I had one person showed up drunk to the training, drunk.
Oh no,
And,
no way.
yeah, there's no way. Here's your money. Go back. I don't want to see you here. So that's a complete different story.
That's hey, look, and that goes with, like, I even teach my kids. I even have friends come up that have kids that come up here, and the first thing I say to them is, "Hey, look at me straight in the face. My range, my rules. You don't like it, walk away. Are you good? Now we can continue." And that's how it is. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm the range master. I'm responsible as the range owner for like he said, if I put an automatic in somebody's hands and they do something wrong, it's my fault. If I put a BB gun in a kid's hands trying to teach him to shoot, and he Christmas stories himself and shoots his eye out, that's on me. So again, like he said, my range, my rules. And I like that the only thing you've brought up is something that really normally isn't going to happen, is unruly bad behavior. If you're coming to a weapons instructor, you're pretty much coming with a frame of mind of, I'm going to have a gun in my hand. I can't act stupid. I can't be dumb. Somebody's going to lose their life. I'm going to lose a finger. I lose a toe. Something's going to happen. But that rare case that you have, like, I have never drunk. Like, what is people thinking to show up drunk?
Or the better question is, are they thinking?
And why it's, I mean, if you're gonna have a gun, you're not gonna have it drunk. Now, if you're a responsible gun owner, if you're gonna go out on night at town drinking, I'll leave it at home. At least that's my method of thought. But I guess to each his own. You show up drunk. Wow, that's a first for me.
Yeah. No, that you also remind me of something, but there are certain disabilities that you cannot see, and it deals with your personality, with your mental status as well, and that is the hardest part. For people that don't know this, but gun ranges, especially indoor gun ranges, traditionally have been used to commit suicide. Throughout the industry, policies have changed where if someone comes in by themselves to rent a firearm, then most of the responsible gun ranges will not rent a firearm to that person, and they expect you to, at a minimum, have somebody else, on the pretense that somebody else will be able to know you and identify whether you're going to go and do something crazy. Has it happened? Anyways, yes, absolutely has happened, but you sort of minimize it.
And
but as an instructor, you're responsible.
As an instructor, somebody just I'm trying to remember who it was. The guy at the drive-through. I don't remember the guy's name he brought up, but it was in the news. There was a firearms instructor that took a gentleman into a range, taught him to use the firearm. The guy turned around and shot the instructor in the face. and it made news. It made headlines. I just don't remember the guy's name.
Not Chris Kyle, right?
What'd you say?
Chris Kyle.
Yes. Yes. That's the name. Guy
Oh,
went to
was
teach,
it Chris? Wow.
Yeah.
went to teach the guy how to shoot firearms, showed him step A, B,
Yeah.
and C. The guy turned around and shot the guy in the damn face.
But the guy that shot him was suffering severely from PTSD.
Which is exactly what we were just talking about. Underlying conditions you can't see that as an instructor, he himself has to worry about. That was the reason I went into that, is because he was starting to... You guys know me. I don't sugarcoat disabilities. I'm handicapped. If you're handicapped, live with the term handicapped, disabled, crippled. We've all heard it. Let's get past that. Let's move on it, and let's be better. The gentleman had PTSD. He had mental issues. Well, these we can't see. And one of the things that baffles me even to this day is I can go buy a gun, and I don't want to go into this. I just want to tell you my thoughts on this, but I can go buy a gun being medicated for mind-altering situations. And depending on my medication, I can even conceal carry that gun. I can drink alcohol and do all of that. But in today's day and age, you can't smoke a joint and do that, which is becoming legal. And for someone like me, that's my medicine, there is your kick in the butt, and the government needs to hurry up and catch up. But we can take mind-altering pills, and that's okay. Under certain prescriptions, right, Mr. Instructor? You have to listen.
Yeah, well, unless you...
But you can take mind-altering substances provided it's cleared by ATF, which blows my mind.
Well, if you commit a crime and you're under the influence and you have a firearm, then obviously they will tag that along the crime that you committed. Now, as far as being able, for instance, to obtain your concealed weapon license, if you have been involuntarily committed in a mental institution, then that will prevent you from getting the license issued to you.
Yeah.
But like you said, what about underlying situations where the person had not been committed to a mental institution and yet has a borderline personality
disorder
issue that might make them more aggressive? There's no testing for that. There's no scale. Everything is subjective.
Correct.
And that's what is so scary for Second Amendment people, or people that believe in the Second Amendment and support it, where who is to tell whether I am depressed or not? And I might just be sad, or I might be anxious about something, not necessarily depressed. But one will say, well, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, really? Because I personally have seen psychologists, psychiatrists that I wouldn't want to have their life. They're a mess.
Yeah.
So it's very subjective. I tell people I have
where you felt as the instructor, this person shouldn't be taught, or you've gotten a bad vibe from someone that sought out instruction from you. Has that ever occurred?
Yes, multiple times that has happened to me. A lot of the times, or the majority of the times, is people reaching out to me through Instagram, for instance, private messaging me, offering me substantial amount of money to give them one-on-one training, and they want the entire training. They want to be able to know how to shoot from vehicles. They want to shoot inside, indoor CQB style. And the deeper I dig in, then I realize this person may be an issue. But at the same time, even at the range, I had people that I deemed not ready to be trained at the time. So sometimes you got to make that call. Not that I'm infallible, but you have to use all your senses to be able to identify if somebody is going to be endangering themselves or somebody else. Whether it's, like I mentioned, that person that showed up drunk, that's a flat out issue. But if I see somebody that is preoccupying their mind, and I believe that that person is not necessarily, in the best moment, I just ask them some qualifying questions, I should say. And if I determine that not today, that's the end of it. They won't get their hands on a firearm. And if they brought their own firearms, they can turn around and leave. I don't mind returning the money for training they pay. I'd rather do that than have an incident happen on my watch. So that's the way I see it.
All
That's a long conversation, maybe for another topic.
Bill, you haven't asked a question in forever, man. I guess I got like all the juice now, huh? What happened?
I'm old. It's past my bedtime now.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. I'm gonna have Ron on again. I promise you. I may schedule you here in another couple weeks, where we can just come up and talk about any, whatever you want to come up with that week. We can pick a topic and just run with it. It's been great having you, dude. This has been a lot of fun. I could pick your brain all night long, because you really do know a lot. And I am glad to see that you are a person that says to the handicapped community, come on, come try, come attempt, because there are going to be some disabilities that your disability makes it harder. It may even be some that your disability won't allow you to. I don't like saying that because I think that's unfair. And if anybody finds that and you come to me and say, Infantry, I went to Ron doesn't feel I can do it because of my physical ability, I'm going to go and try to find some kind of mechanism to try to help you, because that's what we do here. Everybody should try to have to do what they want to do. At least try it once. If you honestly don't like it and you can't do it, well, great. We learn together. But if we can hook up a wire and a trigger or something so that you can have that enjoyment of doing it, well, we can make it happen. Never say never. There's always, where there's a will, there's a way. And Ron, I commend you for telling the folks, come on, and sharing the other side of what not to come to Ron with, drunk ass people. What's wrong with you? So, okay. Mr. Bill, anything for Ron? Any more questions before we wrap up?
I think we're good. We put his website out. We put his email out, his phone number. Again, if anybody's wanting to learn the tactical side of it, Ron's your man. He's here in South Florida. Come down and give him a visit.
And if you guys have any, he's going to be partnered with us from here on out. So if you have topics that you would like to address to Ron, reach out to us, infantryoutdoors.com. Ron, you'll also be put on our website, which will be great. So you guys will be able to find Ron's information on my website, as long as my upcoming live streams and videos. So anytime you guys see in the description, the partners and the sponsors are always down below. Check them out. They're there for a reason. They offer great services, and they're like family. You guys will see Ron here around here so much. The kids will probably be calling him Uncle Ron by no time. He'll have my little 4-year-old shooting in no time. But awesome, Ron, thank you, my brother. I appreciate everything. I'm actually going to drop you down and keep Bill for one more minute. So you have an amazing weekend, and we will talk soon. I'll have Bill get us connected phone wise so we can chit chat later.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. And it's been an honor. Very interesting to have this conversation with people that really care about veterans and the tools that we use for work. So thank you for having me.
You were glad to have you, brother. And thank you for being our newest partner.
Awesome.
Have a great night.
I'll call you.
You too. All right.
All right, Mr. Bill, your time to come up here. Final thoughts, final words on Vetinfo, because tonight was brought to you with the compliments of vetinfo.org, along with our sponsors, Silver Connections Group and waterpurificationproducts.com. Bill set this all up, and I thank you for it so much, dude. You picked a great veteran to kick it off. But go ahead and tell the folks one more time about Vetinfo and how they can find you.
Again, you can find me at info@vetinfo.org. Website is www.vetinfo, that's vetinfo.org. vetinfo.org. We're here to help veterans of all eras find information that's sort of hard to locate. Check out the website. We have different information provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs. We have discounts. We have research going on, all kind of different things in a simple to read format for the veterans. So again, that's info@vetinfo.org, or if you want to reach me directly, it's bill@vetinfo.org. So I would like to thank Infantry Outdoors for having us on tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed the guest I brought on, Ron, who is, like I said, very knowledgeable in what he does.
Very. So knowledgeable, I have to do multiple episodes. That's some knowledge for your ass, people. I mean, for real. And Bill, of course, you guys know you've seen Bill on the videos with me. When we get down south again, Bill's got some new fishing spots to take me to.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to beat that northern Floridan bass I caught in the pond, but we going to try. And don't forget, guys, get us those likes on this videos. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do the 500-yard challenge. And then if we can do that, we'll move it out to 1,000 yards. I'm willing to try it. I'll find gear to do it somehow. If I have to put a damn telescope for the stars on the end of that rifle, I'm going to hit 1,000 yards somehow, Bill. There's a way, bro. Adapt, improvise, and overcome, and never stop. Brother, you have a night. And say hello to the family for me. Congratulations to your son for all that hard work again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. And we'll talk real soon. You have a wonderful night. And thanks again for hooking everything up.
Not a problem. Enjoy it.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Vetinfo. Check them out down below. One-stop shop. By vets, for vets, everything vets. If you don't find it on there and you're a vet, you need something, let us know and we'll get it up there for you. And it's good, Ron will be up with us now soon. So now we've got a tactical weapons person. The community is growing here at Infantry Outdoors. And next week, I'm going to actually ask you guys a question. We came up with something that we want you, the viewers, to be able to come up and give us an answer for. So next week, you have to stay tuned for that. But I do have other stuff coming up next week. Next week, we're going to start Tech Talk. I got a special segment from our friends at Silver Connections Group that's going to tell you a little about technical stuff for YouTubers, Instagrammers, business aspiring websites, all that kind of stuff. We're going to have a tech tip of the week for you guys starting next week. So with that said, it's time to get up, get out, and go get a drink, go to bed. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for Ron for being here tonight. Thank you to all of my viewers. I hope that you guys had an amazing night, and I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. And I hope that this and all of our adventures here on Infantry Outdoors inspires you to get outdoors. So until we meet again on our next live stream or on our next upload, I am the Blind Sniper, a.k.a. the Infantry. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday from 10 p.m. to You Say When here on Infantry Outdoors Live. Tonight's Infantry Outdoors live stream is brought to you in part by
Silver Connections Group, full digital marketing agency. Improve your social media standings, boost your Google rankings, or get a website for yourself or your business. Contact them today at silverconnectionsmobile.com. Water purification products, pure water at your fingertips, fully licensed and insured. Get your products, service, and full installation. Shop today at waterpurificationproducts.com.